Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to another evening extravaganza with us here at the C Plus Content Channel, who forget to mute our monitors again, but that's fine. Yeah, we are going to check back into the world of lovely woodland creatures who explore ancient ruins and do crime and plan weddings. So, you know, the same old story.
You have a
Uh,
great repertoire.
Yeah. Hey, Mish, since you're narrating, why don't you kick us off?
All right, I am Misha or Misha underscore less than three here on Twitch or at Misha Weha on Twitter. I'm going to be narrating this game. So we're playing the Root RPG, which, as mentioned, is about woodland critters doing war crimes or planning weddings, depending. It's a powered by the Apocalypse system. The actual setting is based off of the the Root board game, which is about multiple factions warring to take control of the woodland. So that is sort of the backdrop for the game. We can just go around to everybody else where you can introduce yourself and your characters, starting with Tough.
Hi, I am 98 Tough Lover, Tough for Torpleton, or some other variety of nickname. I'm also a variety streamer on Twitch. One day I'll stream again. I will be on Katie1W22's channel tomorrow, and then I'll be on Backwinds on Saturday for our ongoing D&D campaign, and then I'll be on Singe channel on Sunday for Masks. So, busy weekend, but not me personally streaming. And I am playing V, who is the chronicler. She's a cute little otter who is now also somehow a wedding planner. But that's fine. It has to do with like history and culture and stuff, so she's doing great-ish. She didn't pawn it off on Marsh. It's fine. Go Sin.
Hi, I'm Sin or sinful underscore potato on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I post art to the Instagram. I exist on Twitter. And I post stuff to the YouTubes. And then I stream on Twitch. One stream being Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Time for my Masks campaign with Tough. And other cool people. And it's gonna be lots of fun, super wholesome, not terrifying or whatnot, right? I play Fritz, and Fritz identifies as they, them. They're a chaos cat with boom boom grenades and a knife. Twi.
Hi, I'm Twi'lek, and I shall be playing Hector. Hector is a heron who makes things and also is very, very greedy. Just a little bit. SJ.
I am SJ or SJ underscore sidekick.
Did you just mute SJ? Because we just caught the first part of that, and then it stopped. Or something has happened to me personally.
Nope. Same
Nope,
here.
it stopped for me too.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
you're back.
can
We also
you-
gaslit.
Yeah, now you're good.
Okay. Well, I'm playing Tech, who's basically a ninja frog, who's recently been painted yellow by Marsh. So
Yellow,
we'll see how that goes.
yellow splotches, not all yellow.
Yeah, like dark frog.
Yeah. It's fine. And Tack is very small. And weak and must be protected. Yeah, I am Marsh. Marsh is a mink of the people. He is, people. He doesn't even mind if people call him a weasel. I mean, that's their perspective, man. It's fine. Not everyone gets the difference between a mink and a weasel. He's a legend. Can't go anywhere without running into an adoring fan who wants to give him food, show him around town. And is, as usual with my characters, definitely the moral compass of the party. And a mind like a steel trap. Keeps everything straight. Definitely doesn't forget what happened yesterday or who the members of his party are.
Definitely not. No, well, maybe you're not forgetting Fritz. Everyone kind of remembers Fritz. what with the danger mask and the explosions.
Well, I remember that fox that used to like to blow things up, but that's some cat. I don't know which is which.
Right. Yeah. With scarves on a suspiciously fox-shaped mask, but it's definitely a cat
Yeah.
now. So, does anyone have a good summary, or shall I attempt?
Well, I can try. So before stream, we accidentally blew up a town. Well, specifically a barracks, and freed a town from the wicked talons of the Erie dynasty. And that's kind of how we started to become folk heroes. And then for some reason, the mayor was like, you owe us something for doing that. I prefer to think that they called on their heroes in their time of need. And we were sent to track down some bandits, which we did. And Fritz proposed to one of them. It didn't go well. That person wound up in tiny bits and pieces splattered all over the woodlands. And then we killed off the stragglers. We went back for our lovely reward. And there was another problem with a representative of the Erie dynasties who was kind of like just like a nice old man who kind of thought he still ran the town. And we were asked to run him out of town, and we didn't. We created a fake position for him so he could feel useful in society and everyone would leave him alone. So we are about bringing peace wherever we go. And then something super secret happened, and there was a mission by the Corvid conspiracy, although I don't think we're supposed to know that. Something to do with a mole wedding in a different town. And so we went there. Turns out one of the wedding gifts for the mole wedding is a book that contains a bunch of like tactical secrets and things for the mole army. And our job is to find a way to steal it. And our plan is to take it, copy it, counterfeit it, put a bad copy back, and then have a copy for ourselves and a copy for the Corvid conspiracy and really anyone who wants one. To which end, we became wedding planners. Then there was a side mission for some river folk that we were supposed to go and help them track down a suitable gift for the wedding, which we did. We went into a lovely ruin, found way too much explosive. Still very concerned about that. And some evil stilt monsters / moose. But we found some cool stuff, some of which we kept. And now the river people like us too. And at some point in the very near future, we have to turn over the wedding plans to the lovely mole couple, one of whom is super nice, and the other one's kind of, well, a mole person. Oh, also, we're best friends with a bat.
Yes.
Who is probably going to try to kidnap one or both of the mole brides.
Yeah, that seems to sum it up. So I think everyone had headed to bed that evening. Hector's not in. You have 2 rooms to split. Hector didn't really show up in the evening.
Oh, that's right. Hector has a girlfriend. She's a beaver. And he has a drinking problem. But anyway.
Yeah, he might. But you know, when you gotta have it all. Let's take a look at Fritz, actually. Fritz, as you're sleeping, your subconscious has been doing work, processing things underneath the constant level of explosions that I assume is on the surface level of Fritz's thoughts at all times. So let's get in there. So Fritz, when did you join the Marquisate?
When I was of age, so I joined, an adult with my 2 siblings, Belle and Beau, both French for beautiful.
Seems likely. And did you rise in the ranks in the Marquisate? Do grunt work?
Sort of. It wasn't as easy as my siblings did, but I rose to a point of being a weapons specialist with more of the explosive weapons rather than a commanding officer type thing.
Yes, and your subconscious takes you back to the one incident in particular that separated you from the Marquisate. What was that incident, Fritz?
It was the potato farm incident.
What happened on that day? You I think I can do it. You and your siblings were part of the small team, and you're just it was a last ditch effort by the Marquisate. This is near the end of the war between when the Marquisate was active. Not that you knew it at the time, but this is right around when the Grand Duchy first made their appearance, when the Erie dynasties were trying to also fight back on the presence of the Marquisate. And you had not even heard of this Corvid conspiracy before, right around then. You and your siblings were assigned to a mission, just a simple thing. What was your job of this mission, Fritz?
My job was, if things go south, I was to blow the popsicle stand, so to speak.
All right. So let's say Bo is coming after. All right. Did they call you Fritz then?
Yeah, because I was always a weird kid, so they'd go like, "Oh, they're on the Fritz again. Oh, look, there goes Fritz. They're little Fritzy." So it just started to stick.
All right. So Bo comes up and he's like, all right, Fritz. Just if it goes bad, all right? So just set up the perimeter right around the field. Should be perfectly fine. We're going to get these special pink and blue potatoes. It's very important for the mission. You understand?
Yes.
All right. So go ahead and roll to wreck something. We'll just get that out of the way right away. Let's see. I have all the windows open, but I definitely have opened them in the wrong order. What'd you get for that roll? I think you can use luck instead of might because of your vagabond power.
Yep.
You're muted.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I hit my mic to unmute, which muted it. But I was muted on Discord, so it didn't work anyways. So with the arsonist, I can roll with luck instead of might, but never mind. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, because Fritz didn't have their mask at that point in time.
Sure. Actually, I don't know if Fritz would have their mask at that point in time.
No, they wouldn't have had it
Yeah.
at that point. So danger mask is not in effect. So that's a 10.
Cool.
That's not bad.
In fact, it's very good. On a hit, you break it. It cannot be used again until repaired. Yes, repair the potato field. So you did an excellent job of setting up the explosives. You're at the ready, but then in the distance you hear a commotion. You weren't expecting to hear all of the noises, the shouts. Something was going on, and you hear some muffled voices shouting for you to do something. What do you do?
Since things seem to be going south, I hit the button to pull the trigger to make things explode, but it doesn't quite work. There
Or
must have been
perhaps
a loose.
it worked too well.
Yeah.
But maybe you hit the button, everything's set up, but someone has disturbed one of the things. So you're panicking, running around, trying to get it set up. And then it goes off, but not as expected as a distraction, but sort of in the middle of the operation. There's people all around, wounded denizens left and right. You see a distraught kingfisher staring at their ruined fields. And you also see your two siblings as they retreat with the rest of the company into the forest. They give you a look, but keep moving on. After everything has died down, you were unable to locate them or the troop. And really, this is what set you off on your journey to become a vagabond. And the reason why you're thinking about all of this deep down in your subconscious mind is that you're now pretty sure that sword you found, your group found, was one of your siblings' sword. They weren't there. They weren't the bandits. Let's be clear about that. You definitely would have recognized them if they were there, but that was their sword. And this clicks for you in the middle of the night. Zero made a good point when he explains on the background. If you could bring up the map quick, just so we can center about where we are and what we're doing. So if you take a look at the map, you'll see that right now the vagabonds are in Rooston, a town where the Great Underground Duchy is in control, with a Corvid conspiracy presence. Those are two of the three factions that are vying for control of the woodland. They had started in Flatholm, and I believe this potato patch incident took place in Patchwood, during a time when the Marquisate, a faction no longer really present in the woodland. Obviously, there's still some remnants from when they first came here. They had been there at the time. Yeah, I think that's good for the map, just for reference. But Fritz isn't the only one having some dreams of the past. Tack, you remember the time when you last engaged with Commander Warham, the commander of the Great Underground Duchy, who you know is here and will be a guest at the wedding. I would say that let's say this incident was happening in Sundal. It's not very far from here. It was probably a few seasons ago. The Corvid conspiracy was running their standard kind of operations in Sundal. You were under, let's see here. There's another commander. I put him in NPCs. Yes, Commander Damon, who was speaking with you in the square, or I guess somewhere in town, going over whatever plans are going on. Probably something like, all right, so we have the grain shortage going on in town. I think we'll be able to solve it by getting the latest shipment over from Milton over here. I think they might need an escort, though. Would you be available in a week or so? Of
course.
All right. Sounds good. Really happy to have you here for work. And then as the conversation goes on, suddenly there are choruses of screams throughout the town. Both of you run around the corner and see moles and badgers emerging from the ground in the middle of the village. What do you do?
Try to help the civilians.
Okay. Yes, indeed, these do appear. I think you'd be aware of the Great Underground Duchy at this point, though their presence here in town was a surprise. So you go to help civilians. You're where are you taking them?
Just trying to clear them from the area that seems to be compromised.
Okay. Yeah, you let's see. You grab a couple of the nearby mice people running around, start corralling them away towards the edges of town, away from where the all these holes are appearing. You make a couple of trips of directing people towards larger groups into safety, but in one of them you are stopped by a large, intimidating mole wearing a lot of armor. He brandishes a weapon and says, "Surrender." What do you do?
Check my moves again. I'll probably go in with my Sai and attempt to disarm his weapon.
All right. Give that a roll.
Okay. Oh, with finesse. Perfect. Okay, 9.
9? Okay. That is a hit. So for the disarm weapon attack, so you close into close range on a hit, they have to mark 2 exhaustion or be disarmed. So you rush in with the Sai, coming in for a that twisting kind of maneuver to disarm him. He holds his grip strong on his sword. It's a very large sword, and so he manages through grit and determination to hold on, and he gives a small smile, realizing he has at least some challenge here, and he closes in with a slash at you. What do you do?
I mean, try not to get slashed. Maybe an acrobatics move to.
Yeah, go ahead and try rolling acrobatics for that.
Okay. Plus finesse, right? Please.
I think tricks are finesse. Let me see.
Okay, if so, it's a 7.
Okay. So you have to mark exhaustion or one
I'll
of
mark
the other.
exhaustion.
Yes, very good. And so you nimbly dodge away, probably doing a few cool backflips and what have you, as he swings his sword. The sword itself crashes into a building. You hear the sound of several denizens inside yelling as pots shatter and they scamper out through the door. You are now a far distance away. I think he is going to try to close the gap again to slash at you with his sword. What do you do?
Trick shot. So
right.
while I'm far away, try to keep him back by throwing stuff at him.
All right, go ahead and roll for that.
This is not gonna go well. Oh, actually, 9 again.
9. All right, choose 2 of the trick shot options. See, I think probably distracting an opponent and providing an opportunity would be nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you can try to make sense of any of the other options if you would like as well. They would work.
I would say shot distracts an opponent, provides an opportunity, just so like he can't close the distance because he's probably
Yeah. What I will say is that then this shot was remarkably precise. He's wearing a rather like a plate helmet situation. You managed to get him right in the eye with your trick shot, which definitely causes him to stop advancing for a moment, probably crying out in pain. What do you do?
use his words back at him. Surrender.
He's like, I don't think he dignifies that with a response. To be honest, I think he's going to quickly, shrug it off and advance. At this moment, Commander Damon steps in and parries the blow that was coming for you and yells like, "Get back to the civilians! I'll hold them off here." And that is what you do. You remember the rest of the day. It was a busy day of moving denizens away. Much of the Corvid conspiracy had to leave the clearing itself as the occupying forces of the duchy continued to fight. This is one of the last times you worked with Commander Damon. This is around when the arguments started coming up about how things are being run within the conspiracy. However, this was the time that you met Commander Worm, and he definitely seemed to... I think you probably had other encounters here with him. He noticed you. He remembered you because from that day on, he had a scar over his eye from the attack. Yay, flashbacks. All right, well, the rooster crows. It's morning. Someone tells the rooster to shut up. Come on, Beryl. We don't eat the crow every day. Oh, well, it's just one of those things. You gotta get people up and going. How else were you going to know the sun rose? You hear in the distance. Head downstairs. I say maybe Hector and Rodia are enjoying some morning mimosas. Seems reasonable. I guess it's about time to plan a wedding. What do you do on this fine, fine day? SJ, you can just remove any of the exhaustion from that thing.
Rhodia, this wedding, would you like to come with me?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, I was going to be going anyway, but I can go with you. That's fine.
We'll sit together.
Okay. Are you going with your guys over there?
We got a little thing we've got to do together, but like when the ceremony is going on, I'll look for you.
All right.
We can enter the party together. I'll go off and do my thing, then I'll come back to you. Perfect plan.
Sounds great. Well, you got any plans for today?
Don't know. I think I'll have to ask the guys.
All right.
So
Well,
I head over to the guys to ask them what our plans for the day are.
Did we hear you invite her to be your wedding date?
probably.
Yeah.
It's not the Caddy Booze isn't the biggest place.
Yeah. So that's you're moving pretty fast there, friend.
what can I say? She's
Able to drink
just
you
so-
under the table?
The real romantic date there. I'm sure nothing will go wrong.
No, nothing at all. When we have secret plans to disrupt the wedding and steal stuff. Hector!
I mean, it's fine.
You're the wedding planner. Just plan things around this.
Not a wedding planner. I don't know how to explain to you that I'm a historian.
No, you are. You are planning a historic wedding. You are a historic wedding planner. This is fact. This is historical fact.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. Anyways, probably, I think V probably spent some time last night just like drawing up like expectations. She doesn't have anything like set in stone, but just like this is how Mo people do it. This is how people up here usually do it. Now, how are we gonna put all this together into something that looks nice? Because I can write it down, but I'm not good at making it put together.
Well, I've already got fabric swatches. And we've got the color theme from the extra special apples from the ancient grove. And I don't know, we just need like a concept cloud. It's really easy. Here, give me your quill.
Which one? I have like 15.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, you
Like
can
at
take
all.
the crappy one.
I'll grab one. I'll write love really big, and then little smaller words like togetherness and celebration and things like that. You know, just like to center the event around like core concepts, like union and diversity and things like that.
The last time Marsh had a pen, Tack got turned yellow.
Heck's still yellow. It's fine.
Yeah, that was oil.
And we did that on purpose for whatever reason. I
It's a
still
disguise.
don't. Okay. I don't really care. It's fine.
Yeah,
So-
just show them the concept cloud and tell them that's how planning is done.
You just wrote a bunch of words on a piece of
Yeah.
paper.
And fabric swatches and the entire visual theme is done.
You missed fire.
Yeah,
No.
we're gonna keep that one secret. Oh, but passion. I should put passion in, don't you think?
I mean, I feel like they're more like, like duty and honor and
Sure.
mole people traits.
Duty and passion. Because you can be passionate for your
Paperwork.
duty.
More people love paperwork.
Yes.
Yes. We should make paper.
Yes, write really big paperwork. And we'll propose that someone needs to draw up a submission form. Because normally there's like toasts and things. But for all the mole
Right.
guests, they have to file a form in triplicate with like
Stating who they are, where they're coming from, what they're bringing.
Who they are with
so we
all
can
that good
locate
stuff.
That gift.
the which of the approved themes their toast will be about, the approximate length and word count. They have to file all that stuff for approval. It's not strictly necessary, but it will make people feel at home.
Yeah. No, that's perfect. And then that gives us a paper trail to track down who we need to track down.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And we also have to get the paperwork filed. You also have to fill out a different form if you're not going to make a toast.
Yes. Explaining the reasons why, you
Yes.
know, and all of that. Yes, perfect. Great. They'll love that, probably. So,
Probably. I do think that between, especially V and Marsh, you are both capable of planning a wedding event. However, I do think you guys need to work through the details of the multiple problems at the wedding, which I think are just two, if I'm tracking. One is the fact that you want to steal the gift that is likely going to be from Commander Warham, which is the book. And I think you were going to try to make copies of it and then put it into a bad copy and then take a different copy and then keep one. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
how many. So there's that plan. And then 2, Bruce is planning on coming to the wedding, and that's the guy who's planning on probably kidnapping somebody, though you don't know who or what exactly his plans are. And I think you got the vibe. March, I believe you're holding 2 on the figure someone out. And I think you generally figured out that he does not trust you to be in on this plan because he does not think you are ruthless or good at hiding anything.
Yep.
Well, he didn't go along with our plan to go upriver and find that clearing. He's not a very good friend at all, was he?
No. I'll also note there are probably a few notable guests that are on the guest list that you know about. Specifically, let's see. There's Commander Warham, obviously. Rhodey and Anchor are on the list. Flanera, or Flan, who's the smithy. Oh, yeah, V, you were going to stop by the smithy this morning, maybe to get that hammer repaired.
And talk about history.
And learn about history and stuff, because it had her symbols. This, of course, was the hammer that Hector is borrowing, from Pat the porcupine, from just the clearing over. Oh, and also, let's see, Felicia's going to be at the wedding, the former potato farmer whose potato farm was exploded, who's now here and apparently working to start a new set of farms in this beautiful farmland nearby. And George Carrot, the local baker, is also going to be here, who you all are vaguely familiar about because there's some sort of song that's really catchy that was written about him, Marsh. He's also going to be at the wedding.
Okay, great.
You know, since he's an important figure around town.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's fine. We only just have Marsh signed up to do all the performances, so it's not like you'll notice him or anything.
I could reprise my chart-topping hit.
No. Unless you're going to make it nice so that he doesn't hate us and keep an eye on us because, you know, we have to be sneaky and steal stuff.
So
No, you missed the point. There's this thing. I'm sure you haven't noticed, but see, pretty much everywhere I go, everyone's eyes are like constantly on me because, you know. So if I attract attention, that's a good thing. It makes it easier for other people to go and do the dirty business. It's also called an alibi. What, I couldn't possibly, because I was in front of everyone performing.
See if you're able to actually stick to that, Marsh.
Who knows?
I hope so. Yeah,
We'll
that's
see.
what concerns me. It's fine. Look, it'll be fine. You're just doing the performances, and maybe if you get him riled up, he'll just focus on you, and then we could do other stuff.
The aesthetic organization of the wedding presents is critical.
Yes.
Because
The most important gifts need to be on the top so that they're easy pickings.
Well, or in a place of honor. And we need to examine them for like design cues. I'm thinking specifically like, what does the book look like? What's the cover say? What maybe like does the first page say? Because we don't have to fake the whole darn thing. But if we want to swap in a reasonable facsimile, you know, I mean, I was going to open it up and read it during the wedding, but if we have a chance to create one in advance and do the little switcheroo.
That's what I was thinking, Tech. I was actually hoping you would help me with this and that we could come up with a book that looks legit and reads legit, but really it just makes their plans easier to counter because we kind of know the tactics of people up here. So if we just make it so that those tactics work against their tactics, then, you know, win-win, right?
Definitely come up with some compromising tactics that leave things like their rear exposed or make their supply lines fail.
Yes, good, perfect. We can work on that.
So, what if we have two distractions? We have one to where perhaps Marsh does his thing, where V and Tack can look at the book. And then we can have a second distraction where it can be swapped out after the fake has been replaced.
Okay, but Fritz, you need to like not super kill anyone.
They will not kill.
Feel like there's an on purpose after that, but that's fine. That I can live with. Just no proposing. It's somebody else's wedding, so that's rude.
I think we can say that goes for everyone.
Yeah, Hector.
Don't get
And
caught
also,
up
it's
in the moment.
been a day and a half, and you're probably still drunk, because I don't think you ever stop being drunk. Cool.
Look, I just got some tail. It's okay.
Oh,
I didn't want to know that, Hector. I didn't
that-
want to know that.
poses all sorts of very problematic questions.
Also, you owe me, Hector, because I'm getting your stinking hammer fixed.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course you don't. Because you don't want to owe me money, but you do. So suck it up.
So-
you can afford one less drink.
Fritz, will you need to pre in place the explosives or anything like that?
The pyrotechnics for the celebratory display will need to be in place in advance.
Yes. And properly set up and not going to explode if somebody sneezes.
Yes.
My displays are 100% perfect 100% of the time.
Saw the potato farm, Fritz. I don't know about that. And also the alley. And also the blowing a lot of people up. And also like all of the other times that you've exploded things. But maybe this time will be better.
Yes. We will keep trying the same thing over and over and over again until we get a different result. Makes perfect sense to me.
Look, if we don't let Fritz blow something up, then I feel like they're gonna blow all of us up. So, better to attempt to put it to good use. Okay, so we've got the counterfeit figured out. We've got 2 potential distractions. Fritz, I think yours is a backup, because I'd rather not super explode everything if we can help it. But we'll have Marsh do his thing, which is being obnoxious and distracting everybody, which he's really good at.
We could do an impromptu halftime show. Once half the time of the wedding has elapsed, we could, just as a little palate cleanser, put on a routine. And then, at my signal, Fritz, we can pretend that the pyrotechnics are meant to be part of the halftime show, if we need extra distraction.
Extra bright, glaring distraction with a stage conveniently placed in front of the present pile so that they can't see it.
Yes, exactly. So very
Small boom.
small, less boom, more smoke. Can you do
Yes.
colored smoke? Could you do red and gold colored smoke to go with the color theme of the wedding?
Yes.
That'd be perfect.
Excellent.
It'd be a perfect
Yeah, this-
backdrop to my performance, and we'll just position the stage right in front of the artfully arranged pile of gifts.
Yeah, just use the presents as a backdrop, and then the smoke covers them,
Yes.
and then we just do our little switcheroo, and then we're good.
Perfect.
Great.
I assume visually all of this is, you know how heist movies always like show you
Yeah.
talking about it, but then you're actually doing it.
Yeah.
That's what's happening through most of this.
Yeah.
Hector, Radia walks over and is all like, "Hey, I I gotta go to work at the shop. You want to come hang out? Or are you busy?
I'm a little busy, and since we've already established that this is a very small room, I would appreciate it if you didn't mention any of this to anyone.
Oh, I wasn't really listening. I was talking with the only other person in the room, which is the bartender. Well, I guess I'll see you later. And she gives you a playful slap on the butt with her tail.
I stare at her like she's a fish in the river.
Wow.
You're gonna eat her?
Maybe. So she leaves. You have reason to assume that the smithy would be open at this time. Is there any other discussion you're doing for at least today's plans?
No, I think we've got things pretty well figured out on what we're gonna do, and the plan definitely won't go horribly, horribly wrong at any point.
I will still point out, I don't think I've heard any particular plan about Bruce, but I'm going to let that one
that's
hang. You
coming.
got some days yet to think about that.
We've got time, and also I kind of don't care if he succeeds. Like, I do a little because I like Nellie, and I don't want her to be, like, dead, but, like, it don't really affect us. We're just there to steal the book. Who cares if one of the brides disappears?
Distraction number 3.
Yes.
Another distraction, because they're too busy looking for the missing mole person
Yes.
to care about the missing book.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'll leave the group and primarily Marsh to figuring out wedding specifics, and I'm gonna go take the hammer to the flan.
All right. You find Flannery working at the forge. She is I believe I said gray wolf. She is probably wearing mostly just the blacksmith apron, and you can see her rippling blacksmith muscles as she's working the forge. As you do, sparks fly every time she hits the hot metal
they
that is
do.
there. Yeah, that's what I thought. She that's probably some sort of sword or something of that nature that she's working on, and she cools it off in the water and raises her safety goggles. You wear those when forging things, right? Probably. As she sees you come in, and she says, "Oh, hey there, V, right?"
Yeah, hi, Flan. I brought the hammer, like I said I would.
Oh, cool. So let me see what I'll have to do with this. She moves away from. I presume she finished wrapping up whatever she was doing with the active thing she was working on. She moves over to a workbench farther away from the actual forge. This is actually a fairly large workshop. I suspect there might be a few other people here, maybe some more wolves, who are also working on a variety of things you need made by smiths. There we go. So she brings you over to a workbench and starts pointing out, like, oh yeah, so this one's my grandfather's symbol, great grandfather's symbol, so on. And let's see, so for these cracks I'll need to be filling in with this material, so on. She's explaining that and so on.
Yeah, V's asking questions like, where did this originate from? How did you learn this technique? Where does it find its origins? And it's just very enthralled.
Yes. Flannery's telling she well, actually, if you want to figure someone out, you might be able to
Sure.
learn more about what they're thinking.
Heck yeah, dice love me. That's a 10.
Heck yeah. So you can hold 3, spend the whole to ask one of those questions there. Such as any of those things.
Any of the ones that are listed.
Yes.
I want to know, what is your character really feeling?
I think right now, she is probably pretty excited that someone's interested in her work. It's not very often that someone comes in and actually is all like, what's going on here? Let me tell you about the history behind the seals. And I assume you're even interested in like when she is talking about smithing techniques and so on. And you're also listening to that. She's like, oh, that's most of the time people are just like, yeah, fix it. Whatever. I don't care about like, why is that tricky? What's going on here?
Yep.
So I think you definitely get that.
And I think maybe what does your character intend to do? Like, is she just trying to fix the hammer? Or is she like up to something else?
I think she is probably just going to like try to finish the hammer.
Okay.
I'd say.
Cool. And then how do I get your character to go out with me?
Oh, yeah. Good. I'm glad this is happening. I think for this one, I'm not too sure she is entirely understanding any, like, another reason I'm asking questions is because this is V's way of flirting with you. Yeah. So I think you're going to have to be more direct with the interest stuff here, because it might be a little soon to ask. You're getting a feeling that maybe you need to build a little rapport, maybe in the 9 days leading up to this wedding thing or something, somewhere in that time frame.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I'd propose, like, I'm having a really good time talking about this, but, it'd be a little bit easier to hear you talking if it wasn't all, like, the banging and the fire and the sparks and all of that. So, maybe we could meet up and talk a little bit more, because I'm still super interested in this, and honestly, I'd love to take notes.
Oh, yeah, it does get a little sparky in here, and she'll, like, reach out and brush off a spark that's landed on your shoulder. Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, yeah, sure. I'd love to." Well, this is probably I'm in the middle of a work day, but I could probably, well, no, I have something else going on tonight, but I could maybe meet tomorrow night to talk about it. It should be done within a few days at least.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. So my fee is two value for this.
Great. Can I pay you half now and half on pickup? Because I need to go shake down my friend for the other portion.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Okay. Great. And then I'm gonna go shake Hector down for the other value.
All right. So she'll hold on to the hammer unless you need it, but I think she'd probably need it to start.
I mean, yeah, to actually like fix it. She might get it there. So yeah, I'll leave it with her. I'm very excited about seeing tomorrow. So he's a little kind and he's shaking Hector down for money.
Exactly. So while this was going on, what were Marsh, Tack, the rest of you, all of you, what were you all doing?
Well, we could enact our plan to get the information out of Bruce. Tack, do you think you could pretend to be tough?
I could give it a shot.
Okay. Well, don't worry. I'll be there to back you up and talk. We'll pretend like your unassuming surface hides a skilled fighter and assassin.
This is the point where the camera keeps cutting back and forth between the rest of the group wearing the most unassuming clothing ever and Tack actually wearing, like, proper armor with visible weapons.
Right.
Just so everyone is clear.
Oh, yeah. And that you're incognito, right? Because no one ever expects the little small one to be the... like that puppet show where all the big guys show up and then the one little guy shows up and everyone kind of gets quiet and the little guy goes, and then the curtains close and they open up again and all the other puppets are beat up, we'll pretend you're that guy. Do you think you can
We'll
carry that
again
off?
point out for the camera that Tack is mere inches shorter than anybody else in the group.
Very small. So, Fritz, I think. Oh, so here's what I'm thinking. I think what we do is we find a way to accidentally let him in on our secret. Like maybe we show up unexpected at his place and say, we have a super secret conversation we have to have, and this is the only safe place we had. So would you go out and wait in the hall and definitely don't listen to what we're saying? And then when he's outside with his incredible hearing probably pressed up against the door, we go, ha ha ha, we have him fooled. No one will ever know that we're actually these evil brigands and we're here to, I don't know, steal all the stuff or something. It'll come to me. And then when he comes back in, we're like, oh, I hope you didn't hear any of that. And he's like, yeah, I totally heard it. It's like, you caught us in our dastardly plans, but are you down with that? And then he'll be like, yes, in fact, I have my own dastardly plans. Here's what they are. And we're like, we knew you were awesome. And then we share our plans and he shares his plans and we know what his plans are.
Yes.
Why do we need to know what his plans are?
In case they interfere with our own.
Right. It'll come to me.
I'm also
Scenario.
working on. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I'm also working on a book, like a fake book of fake tactics. In my mind, though, I'm thinking we should probably directly copy it because there's no way this is the only copy. So if we directly copy it, they won't know it's stolen and keep using those tactics. That way it's more beneficial. But if they know it's stolen, they're gonna change their tactics. So it's probably better to just straight copy it than to make a fake one. And then they're like, oh, this is when they're like, that's not what the manual says. And then they figure it out.
Maybe. But we haven't read it yet, and we may not have the time to make an exact copy.
Right. Which is why I'm just making something that's
for the switcheroo.
seems-
And then
yeah.
if depending upon what the actual book contains, we need to make we have to make a faithful copy for the Corvid conspiracy folks anyway. Should be easy to
Or-
make too.
oops, it got burned up in the fire. Like we make the fake copy and then make it unreadable so they can't tell.
And they'll never know that it was taken. That is so smart. How do you fit such a big brain in that tiny little noggin?
Get lucky sometimes.
I guess. Or are you like an elephant and you have a brain in your tail too?
I don't have a tail.
Well, I know. And Marsh just kind of stares off blankly. Anyway, because elephants don't have brains in their tails either, but he doesn't know that. So yeah, let's enact our deception. So we'll head over to Roger's Respite. Roger's Respite? Randy's Respite?
I think it is Rogers, yes.
Roberto's Respito.
Nope, Rogers.
Okay.
Definitely, you wrote it on your hand.
Yeah, but it's very smudged now.
That's
It
true.
looks like blah, blah, blah. Anyway. Hey, Roger. Is our friend Bruce in?
Yeah, I think he is.
All
Should
right.
be us. You know where it is.
Yeah, of course I do. Awesome. Head it up. And then, all right. Pow, 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 pow.
A moment later, the door cracks open again, and it is Bruce.
Hey there, buddy.
What do you want?
Well, so we just we're planning a secret party. Yeah, we're planning a party for the wedding guests, and some of the guests are staying over at Caddy Boo's and stuff like that. So we wanted a place where we were sure none of the wedding guests were around. And you're cool, so I know you're gonna go, but you're kind of come with us. So we just needed a place where we could have a plan for our super secret party for just like a couple of minutes. where no one can overhear us.
All right, just a second. And he shuts the door. And then there's probably pretty close to silent, but one might assume there's shuffling of stuff inside.
Yeah.
And then he opens the door and says, all right, come on in.
Awesome, thanks. Have you met Fritz? Oh yeah, you met everyone. This is Fritz. Fritz is a pyrotechnic specialist. Yeah. For the fireworks. For the super... Oh, I've already said too much. So if you wouldn't mind to step into the hall, because we want it to be a surprise for you too.
All right. He will. He eyes Tack. Like, gives you a once over.
Be careful you don't step on him. Her. Them. So small. And then as soon as... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
As soon as the door closed. Ha ha! I knew he'd buy that line. Just like all the other mokes around here. No one's gonna suspect what we're actually up to. All right, Tack, do you have the tactical layout and the assault plan?
Got it.
Awesome. Fritz, do you have the emplacements for the explosives?
Yes.
All right. Now all we have to do is find a way to get this thing done without anyone being the wiser. Murmur, 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 peas and carrots, peas and carrots. Anyway. Well, so that's a great plan, fellas. The only thing that could possibly go wrong is if someone found out about our dastardly deeds. As of now, everyone thinks that we're just a bunch of silly minstrels and fools and stuff like that. We have the wool pulled over everyone's eyes, especially that guy Bruce.
Yes.
Yeah, too bad he's not up. He seems to have some valuable skills. Too bad he's not up to this kind of shenanigans.
Indeed.
He doesn't
You're
seem
gonna
like
have
the
to
type
do a
get his hands
roll.
dirty.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do a roll on this one. And I'm trying to determine whether it's persuading or tricking. I think you're trying to trick. Overall.
Fine.
Go ahead and roll a trick an NPC with cunning.
Yeah, of course. 5 and 3, 8, 9.
I think people can assist you.
You oughta, because they're there and they're speaking.
Yes, and I think you just help. You mark exhaustion after the roll to add +1 or -2 to the roll.
Let's have it be
Because you
plus
can
one.
help or interfere
Let's have it
if
be
you don't
plus
like what's
one.
happening. Yeah, so one of you can mark an exhaustion to add 1, whoever of you spoke, because you did. So I'll make it a 10. So they will take the bait and do what you want. And I think what that is to go into the room and basically say, I can hear you, right, about your dastardly plans.
Of course we do. We are no fools. This is our way of telling whether you were a patsy or if you were down. Clearly, since you came to us as opposed to running to the town guard, you're down. I told you I had a good feeling about you, didn't I, Bruce? If that is your real name.
Yes.
All right, so we figure you're here to kidnap one or more of the moles. We don't want to get in your way, and we for sure don't want you to get in our way. So why don't you spill it? Let us know what your deal is, and we'll agree to help each other out. And absent that, for sure not get in each other's way.
All right, now go ahead and persuade an NPC.
Okay.
I think with one of the figure someone else kind of that you've done before,
Yeah.
you definitely saw a change in his posture when you pointed out the kidnapping plan.
Yeah.
Maybe not surprised, but sort of like, I knew it kind of thing.
Oh, really? Well, he's been wondering, like, why are these people bothering me?
Well, it's because someone snuck into his room and maybe he noticed that his stuff was moved about.
Okay.
So he doesn't know who did it, but you were the only one who really bothered him in the room before and then started inviting him to things and stuff.
That'll be 11.
All right. Cool. So, he's all right. All right. So if you don't get in my way, I don't get in your way. All I'm saying is don't eat the soup. I'm going to be... It's not usually my deal to use sleeping poisons, but the people who hired me insisted that this is a straight kidnapping of the lieutenant. Not, the daughter of the marshal.
Proxima.
Straight kidnapping, clear him out, and then I deliver her, and that's where I get out. So, some other people might fall asleep for whatever. I don't. It's a little, unless you can get me closer to some of the specific food items, but I think I need a little, chaos and wait for it to take effect at the right time. And just grab her and I'll be out of here.
We are planning the wedding. I think we could definitely convince that there has to be some sort of special treat that only the lovebirds share. What if you poison the soup and a bunch of people start falling asleep, like the old and the infirm fall asleep first, and that raises the alarm?
They do take the first bite of cake.
They do take the first, and we could have a special one, like what if we made a cake that was like a giant sheet, and we had that cut up, and that was what was passed out to the guests, and then the beautiful cake is cut ceremonially, and that's the one, and maybe not even all of it, just the top tier.
That sounds reasonable. I can poison a cake. Should work.
Yeah, well, we're going to be handling the stuff. We might be in a better position to actually put the sleeping poison in. Might rouse less suspicion.
No, I got it covered.
Okay, that's fine. Just understand you're going to have to stand up to some scrutiny. And I'm just saying, we sussed you out the moment we saw you, so you're going to have to up your game. Don't worry.
Usually,
you've got some
you've
got some professionals on your side now.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so with this conversation, where are they? The moves, the figure someone out. I want to spend my holds.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure. Oh, basic moves. Figure someone out. So we did the how could I get your character to tell us what was happening. That one's taken care of. Are they telling the truth?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to assume that goes with, like, what does your character intend to do? Because they told us the plan. What does the character wish I or we would do?
Let's see. In the immediate sense, to leave him alone. But I think in accordance to the plan, I'd probably think that he would wish that you would not get in his way when he is doing whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much that.
Yeah, cool. Well, that satisfies Marsh. It's like, yeah, he basically just wants to get his job done won't interfere with us if we don't interfere with him. So we definitely won't interfere with him. Yeah, cool. All right. I got to get back into my happy everyman mojo before I go out on the streets. I don't want anyone recognizing. That goes for you too, Tack and Fritz. Go back to being small and unassuming and whatever you are, Fritz. All right. See you later. Then I'll do some sort of weird, like, improvised, complicated handshake with him. Like painfully long. Like every time you think it's done, there's another thing happening. So a good like 30 seconds of weird secret handshake at the door.
Yeah, and he's just sort of like not really following along, just kind of like hand out and just sort of like,
yeah.
As you leave Tack, he will say, "You didn't have yellow spots before, did you?"
It's a disguise, Bruce. Keep up.
Okay.
All right. Bye. Good to see you. And then that went well, I think.
I'm just curious who he works for.
Oh, he did say who he's working for someone. I think he probably wouldn't tell us. We could go back and ask, though.
I doubt he wouldn't. If he did, he'd probably be a lie.
Maybe. But so, he's not going to poison all of the attendees. He's only going to poison the brides. And we can prevent that from happening. We just have to make sure that we have 2 different cake toppers. One that he can poison and one that looks just like it that we can put on top of the cake. And then we can tell... we can tell the one that isn't Proxima that we have a super surprise. And what she has to do is she has to pretend to be a little bit woozy. And she can be like, "Oh, honey, I'm feeling a little bit lightheaded. Can we step in the back room for a minute?" And then he'll be watching. He'll be like, "Oh, the poison's taking effect. Of course, it takes the smaller one first." And then we can come out and go, "Oh yeah, the time is right to strike." And he runs back there to snatch him up. And guess what? They're not asleep. And then Proxima kicks his butt. And then under the cover of the poorly executed kidnapping plot, if we haven't already switched the book, we can do it then. Sound good?
Why do we not want him to kidnap?
Well, because she's a client. Kidnap clients can't pay. Like, how is our wedding planning business going to take off? Tack, how are we going to get all the referrals for our wedding planning business if one of the brides is kidnapped? That can't be our first foray. That's terrible branding.
But we're not really starting a wedding planning business,
Aren't
and I
we,
doubt
though?
after explosions and
Aren't we, though?
stuff go off.
It's going to go
Like,
so well.
But the point is for it not to go well.
No, the point is for it to go well for everyone, including us.
But not well for Bruce.
No. Bruce is creepy.
So are we not?
He kidnaps people for money.
Are we not
We
setting
blow up people for
off
honor. There's a
explosives?
difference.
I'm confused.
You mean we could have been getting paid
When?
this whole time?
Don't worry. I've got it all figured out.
Fritz can bake the cake.
No.
Yeah.
So we're not setting off explosions and stuff?
No, we will, but we have to find a way. Bruce's co-conspirators. Any distraction that we put together is a distraction that he put together to cover for the fact that he's kidnapping Proxima, but he can't kidnap Proxima.
Right. So who would hire us after explosions go off at a wedding?
People who want wedding planners who can deliver the goods under duress. It's like, if we can deliver the wedding of the century while people are trying to attack it and kidnap the brides, and yet it comes off flawlessly, seriously, they'll be knocking down our doors. I mean, hopefully knocking down our doors to hire us, not to put us in prison.
Hey, I don't actually want to plan weddings, though.
Well, but think about all the other gifts that show up at weddings. This book is not the only one. We become the wedding planners for the rich and powerful and people who have like really expensive wedding gifts. And then we foil attempt after attempt to steal them, except we replace them with counterfeits. I have it all planned out.
Sure, Marsh. Okay.
I literally just planned it out right now. That's how easy it is.
The next wedding we should do should be Hector's.
But Hector isn't rich. But yes,
Yeah,
I think you're
he
right.
wants to target people with something of value. That's the point.
The river people. They can pay us to go back and get more things that they can present to Hector and his beaver wife's wedding. And then we manage the wedding and we steal it back. We get paid and we get the goods. And we deliver a wonderful time for everyone. It's a win-win-win.
You know, if Hector is getting married, wouldn't he just get like half the goods anyway? Listen, don't think about it too hard. I foresee many weddings in your future. Every clearing has a wedding.
We can just go from clearing to clearing and marry people ourselves. We take turns being the bride and or groom, and then the rest of us plan the wedding, and then we abscond with all the gifts. There's so many ways we can branch out.
For all.
There's so many ways we can branch out.
Oh, okay. So that was a conversation with Bruce and some more plans. Is there anything else that people wanted to do today to prepare?
Well, I blew off Rhodia in order to go with the group, and then was left in the bar. So
Yes.
I am having a very morose conversation with the bartender.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And then we come back in. We're going to be planning your wedding, by the way, Hector.
And then I come in and grab Hector by the legs and start shaking him and get my other value piece that I need.
Yes, he needs to put down a deposit now for the wedding.
No, this is for the hammer that is getting fixed because I paid for half of it, and Hector's going to pay me back and pay the other half of it.
Whatever.
Oh.
And I have your sword.
No.
Hector's sword. I think
Another
Hector's
band
carrying the
model.
sword, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hector, your
Floaty
friends
things.
your friends have come in and started demanding all of your stuff.
All at the same time.
Yeah, all at once.
I hand everybody, well, 2 people as a value each, which would be Marsh and V, and I give a sword to Fritz. And for Tack, I give my backpack containing all my explosives. And then I sit down and continue drinking with the bartender, having been relieved of everything I own.
Yeah, the bartender's like, were you gonna pay off your tab today, or
After the wedding, it's
that's fair.
That's when we get paid for the wedding planning that we're doing.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
the wedding planning.
Yes.
Mm.
It's
Yep,
going
that's
to be
good.
it's going to be I'm sure we've negotiated a fee, haven't we?
I mean, you remember signing a lot of contracts, but it was like 2 hours of paperwork, and
We would probably recall.
Probably
She's all
remember.
Very interested in mole culture. Like, it's super boring to everyone else, but she's like, "Ooh, look at all the clauses." Like, V would be a wonderful mole person.
Yeah, I think so. I think you took a relatively low fee of only 2 value because this is a historic event,
Yeah. I'm like, yeah. we're gonna
and
get
you
this
needed.
all
Also,
done.
this was highly convenient for you to do. So when they're just all like 2 value, which I think you'd probably say that seems a little low for considering the status.
Yeah, but also V's like, yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, and
Meanwhile,
they're-
has a staff of over 2.
yeah, and they're carrying the expenses, so it's fine. It's more
Yeah.
about publicity. Look, once we get their names on our brochures, then that is it's a good investment, B.
What are you talking about?
Well, Tack and I were
Just-
I was just educating Tack on like brand building and how to build a successful, thriving business.
Okay, well, you have fun building a business. I don't want to plan weddings.
Look,
I'm a historian. I want to write books about
it's
history.
all planned out.
Hack is gonna just mouth behind him, just like just go with it. Just
Think of all the wonderful
now.
people that you'll be able to interview. They'll be bringing all their grandparents and stuff with them for the wedding. Like they probably haven't been out of their burrow in, decades. And you can question them all about like what life was like when they were cubs and chicks and whatever people are when they're young.
And we can borrow money from the grandparents.
Yeah.
We're terrible people.
We bring joy everywhere we go.
Followed by explosions, death, and sadness.
There's going to be no death inside. Oh, yes. So plan. Roger thinks that we're like total blackguards now. He's totally convinced that we're evil. So his plan is to Bruce, yeah, whatever his name is, the one that isn't a raccoon, with the wings and big ears.
Yes.
He is after Proxima. So he was gonna make everyone go to sleep when we convinced him that was stupid. So now he's just going to put the sleep poison in the tippy top tier of the cake.
Why wouldn't you let him put everyone to sleep? That'd make it so much easier to steal everything.
Because the old and the weak will fall asleep first, which is going to rouse the guards, and everyone's going to realize everyone's falling asleep and we've all been poisoned.
Eating it, then, like, whatever, they fall asleep anyways.
Now he's going to come and poison the
whatever.
cake topper, and then we're going to replace the cake topper with one that isn't poisoned, and then we'll have the one that isn't Proxima pretend to get a little bit woozy, and then they'll go off somewhere, and when he swoops in to try to grab Proxima, they'll capture him. It will be a foiled attempt, but he wasn't working alone. Someone set explosives to try to cover his escape.
Yeah, maybe the person that, like, told Nellie to pretend to feel woozy so that he would go after her?
No, we can say
That's
we've
a
been
little
keeping an eye
sus.
on that, on the concerning people. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's fine.
Why don't we just let him knock her out? Why do you...
I don't know. I thought you liked them. They're our clients.
I mean, I do like him, but if he's not gonna kill her, then, like, and plus,
We don't
I like
know.
Nellie.
To be
not
clear,
Proxima. I
is
like
he going
Proxima.
after Proxima
Yeah.
or the other one?
He's going after
Yeah.
Proxima.
Yeah, let
Care
him
about
take
Proxima.
Proxima,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah, but what
Nellie's
if
fine.
what if he's like shopping for some sort of weird cannibal cult or something? I don't want that on my conscience.
Then the more people have to deal with.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's
have
not like they're
murdered
good people
so
either.
Many people. So many.
Look.
Civilians.
All I can
Yeah,
say
lots of
is
civilians.
the customer is always right.
The customer also doesn't want us stealing the book.
Yeah.
The customer is always right, especially if they don't
Until
know about the
it
other thing.
inconveniences us.
But what if they don't know about the other
kidnapping plot
thing?
either.
I don't
I
know.
mean,
We
they'll
just
eventually know
we'll
about
just
the
Look,
kidnapping.
we'll
I
keep
say
our
we just-
options open.
We just leave our hands off of whatever Bruce is doing. Because whatever he's doing could be a great distraction so we can do what we need to do. And, like, yeah, maybe somebody gets kidnapped, but, like, oh well.
It's not the worst thing to have Proxima out of the equation.
Yeah, plus that makes for, like, way more interesting history. Like, to
Plan
see what they're going to actually do with her.
Plan E. Proxima is knocked out. We swoop in and say, "Oh, let's help you get you somewhere," and then like give the little winky wink, like we're helping out Bruce. And then he comes in to try to take them, and then we say, "Someone's trying to kidnap Proxima," and then the guards are all attracted to that and away from everything else. And then we're heroes, and then we go into the history book as not only putting on the most important and delightful wedding ever, but from saving the princess or whatever she is of the mole people. Think of the prestige. And then they're
We'll just
thanking
see
us.
what happens.
They're thanking us. I mean, too bad we couldn't prevent the saboteur from burning some of the gifts, but otherwise we're the heroes. And then we go into the history books as the best wedding planners ever.
Wait, we're burning the gifts now, too?
The book.
Planning for explosive.
Okay.
We can we can moderate boom, and make sure that the counterfeit book that we've already replaced is burnt up so they can't tell it's counterfeit.
Trust me, a fire in the gifts is better than a fire in potato field.
Yes.
I mean, but at least you can
Potato
eat the
tots.
fire on the potato field. Like, it made some really nice, crispy.
I think it's also
Potatoes.
probably a good idea that we burn up Commander Warham, because he might be able to tell the difference between the books.
Not if it's incinerated.
I think if he's burned up, then they'll think, oh yeah, obviously the book also burned up.
If you can figure out how to burn them up, then go for it. But I am not going to intentionally set someone on fire. And Fritz, you're not allowed to either.
We can make sure he gets some of the poison, the
Fritz, you're
sleepy time
totally allowed
cake.
to.
Sure, give sleepy time cake to him.
Give sleepy time cake to him because he's an honored guest and he gets to take a piece from the top tier.
So, at the wedding ceremony, the two brides and Commander Warham will each have a slice of cake.
Why didn't I think of this before? We knock out Commander Warham, put him in a wedding dress, and then Bruce kidnaps him. And then we enjoy the
I
wedding.
know bats don't have the best sight, but I think he'd be able to tell the difference.
Really?
Yeah.
Jack is correct.
But moles kind of
Yeah.
look alike.
I feel like
finding
Marsh
wedding
has a
dress that would
bad sense of scale of anybody or
I feel like we're
anything.
just going to let Marsh go off with Marsh's plans, and the rest of us are going to write down the actual plan.
Yeah.
And,
I'm going to be
like,
on
some
stage
of
the entire
things-
time because clean paws.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just a sweet, cute little wedding planner.
So
We got
let's
those books.
montage throughout the week as we arrive towards the wedding day. Marsh, what do you do? I assume there's much wedding planning by those who are involved in the wedding plan stuff. Is there anything in particular you'd like to do, or just being amongst the people?
Oh, yeah. Pressing the flash, talking to people, egging people on. Got to attend, and even if you can't attend, we'll make sure that the main concert, you can hear my dulcet tones. It's going to be the event of the season, that kind of stuff. And then coming up with new plans every 5 minutes and then forgetting them.
Perfect. Tack, is there anything in particular you're doing during the week? I know, as a reminder, I know you had bought some antidotes for a variety of poison things. I would assume that you, knowing it's a sleep thing, you'd probably also have whatever it was to...
I also might make extra sleepy stuff in case they do decide to switch it out and not have him knocked it, because I actually do want Bruce to kidnap them.
So, cool, you do that. Anything else?
When I see Tack making it, oh, Tack, you're so smart. We're thinking along the same lines.
Yeah.
I think it's important that we tell the others, though, so they know what to expect.
Right,
Meanwhile,
remind me
the
what
others have already
we're
agreed
on the
that this is
same
fine.
page about.
Well, we all get a piece of the cake, and then we all put little doses of the sleeping stuff in it. And once we're done with the shenanigans, we eat the cake, and then we're victims. Oh, we were knocked out. There was nothing we could do. So
But
smart.
what if they find the book on us?
We've already burnt the book by then.
No, the real book.
The one in theory you're delivering to somebody else?
I'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah, and there's in the background just go along with what he's saying. We're not actually gonna do it. We've already discussed and we know what we're doing.
I just want to make
What?
sure Marsh doesn't, it's like, oh yeah, just down some...
I mean, he
poison
could,
back,
honestly,
like
that he probably will.
I for sure will.
And that's fine. Yeah. Yeah,
Good.
that's fine.
Hector, the week progresses. What do you do? Anything of note?
As I consider how little money I have, I vaguely wonder whether we'll actually be paid for this job, since we just doing it because somebody sent us a note. Could have been anyone.
Oh,
So
Be in the corner frantically sipping a mug to not make eye contact.
Rodeo and I do a few things that are very, very cheap, such as long walks along the beach.
Going out on a boat fishing.
I do love fish.
Yeah.
gnawing on logs.
Yeah, you know.
I try. I'm not very good at it.
It's like a large toothpick, really, if you think about it. Fritz, I know during this week you were probably prepping some smoke bombs, fireworks, colors,
Yes.
all of the things.
How big are they, Fritz? Are you actually going to make smoke?
Yes.
Did the
A
rest of us
lot
know
of-
this?
Yes.
I would assume so.
I believe
I
it was
have a smoke
requested.
screen too.
A lot of
I just have to-
Fritz's free time or not time testing them out in a secluded area. Fritz is just sitting in the fireplace at Cat Daddy Boo or at
Caddy
Caddy
Boo.
Boo's. Caddy Boo's. Just looking at the sword.
Marshall will wander up, completely ignoring that, because that was like 2 weeks ago. Hey, Fritz, is there something that we could put on the paper of the? Is there something we could put on the paper of the fake book that would make it so that it's like the slightest spark would make it go up in flames?
Magnesium.
Doesn't that?
Oh, look.
I mean, I'm no scientist, but isn't that more like you breathe on it and it explodes? I'm thinking something more like to ensure that a little bit of accidental spark on it would catch it on fire and it would burn up.
But isn't it magnesium that you shave off in the fireplace and then you hit rocks together in little sparks?
I don't know. Maybe you're the expert. But yes, we need to when the fake book is done. Once we've gotten a look at the book and can fake the cover, the interior of the fake book, we have to make sure to coat it in something. Ooh, we could use gunpowder in the ink.
Yep.
So that it sparks up, and then we're sure that it's going to be a destroyed mess and it completely illegible.
Yes.
Fritz, if you could just mark 2 depletion for your setup of all of this. I assume you're putting in some good work on making a lot of things explode in the future. Let's see. Cool. So that was your week. And Fritz, you can definitely make something on you would know how to make the book easily go into flame.
Since a bunch of time is passing, I can clear the exhaustion, right?
Yes.
I will sing songs to you all every night.
Oh, thanks. I marked a depletion just for all the stuff I'm making too. For
Okay.
the book and the potion.
Yeah.
Poisons.
Yeah, Fritz can probably do like 2 to 3 different explosions that are basically set up at the wedding. V, how'd your week go leading up to the wedding?
I think V is very busy.
I think so too, actually.
Because I think she's like juggling, running back and forth to like telling Nellie and Proxima what's going on and like showing them all of the wedding plans that are like not the secret plans, but like the actual we're putting together a wedding plan. And then also trying to spend as much free time as possible with Flynn, because I'm trying to, be interested. I'm not as lucky as Hector. It doesn't happen immediately, but trying. So yeah, V is very frazzled and anxious, but also like gets a little bit of a reprieve at the end of the day.
Yeah. Can you, just for fun, can you roll a figure someone out for when you're talking with like Nelly and Proxima?
9.
Cool. If you want, you have the hold to ask a question if you want. This is just sort of, I was just going to treat this as sort of like a general vibe check, if you will. So I'll just tell you, most of the time, the conversations go well. It's like much wedding planning. Nellie's very, very nice about everything, very excited, geeking out the whole time about this and that and wanting to set it up and, like, oh, it's going to be so fun and cute. Proxima's still more reserved at times, and I think you definitely get the vibe like she is indulging Nelly for having you do this kind of thing. Like, she's like, we didn't need someone from up here to do the wedding things, but we're doing it up here anyway, so whatever you want, you can hire this otter, it's fine. That kind of vibe in general.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah.
Cool.
But you can keep that hold for if you had any of those questions for anything you're doing or for future interactions, wedding stuffs. I'd say we can also hop in with Flannery. We'll go past the dinner. We'll get to the time she mentions like the next day after that first, like, oh, well, the hammers will be ready like tomorrow, so if you want to have dinner then. And then she brings it over for dinner and presents it to you as like, see, and it does look nice, it's new, shiny, good as new. And she's like, and here's my mark, and she points and it's sitting over where the over one of the larger cracks had been, still dodging around some of the other marks. And it's like the probably shape of a wolf head, but slightly different than some of the other ones. Stuff like that, maybe in a circle. Looks cool. And she points out all the fixes she made for the notes you've taken, and then you sit down and have a nice dinner. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about at dinner?
I'd like to ask her if she'd like to have more dinners.
And she yes, I see. She like looks at you and is like, yeah, you know what? I think I would. I know you've been really busy with all like the wedding planning and stuff like that, but hopefully we'll be able to see each other there. I know I'm invited too, and it'd be cool if we could go together.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Well, cool. That's cool, she says. And she's like, well, we'll meet for dinner whenever you're not busy. And then we'll hang out there. Looking forward to it. She runs off. And as the week goes on, you do manage to spy her in the market one day, like looking at some new outfits to wear and stuff like that. Definitely shopping up kind of thing as you're passing in between doing wedding plans. But soon it is the day of the wedding. You all meet at the big barn house where everything has been set up according to your extensive, well thought out plans. When does the plan start where things might start getting weird? I mean, the guests are filtering in throughout the day. I presume it's everyone arrives, the ceremony happens, and maybe everyone has to step outside for a minute as you rearrange all the chairs out of rows back into the tables and stuff like that. So I think you're probably all there as guests are arriving for the actual ceremony.
And the day before, we would have done the advising on the aesthetic layout of all the gifts so that we could get enough of a description so that we can make a reasonable facsimile of the cover of the book.
Yes.
So
all of the paperwork.
Who's got the fake book?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tax got the fake book, so it's Tax's job to wait for the distraction and do the switcheroo.
Did somebody else have sleight of hand by chance?
Nope.
Because I don't.
We all have forgery, but none of us have sleight of hand.
Yeah. I've got pickpocket.
But your finesse is high.
If you can't do the roguish feat, it is trusting fate,
Which is a luck, and
which is luck. Yes.
gotta.
You will be out of sight, so perhaps stealth could be.
I mean, getting there, sure, and unnoticed, but not doing the
actually
actual switch.
Switching it out.
If you're not actually, I mean, I would say if you're trying to switch it while people are watching, like literally trying to do some close magic work, that would be sleight of hand. You're going to be behind smoke and distraction.
Yeah,
or you're doing it during the middle of the ceremony or something.
Yeah.
That would also, like, if no one's really watching the gift pile, stealth would work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people are entering, they're dropping off their gifts. You definitely see.
We should sit together with our partners. It could be like a double date.
I mean, I already arranged the seating that way, obviously.
Oh.
But yes, we should. Don't worry, we'll be sitting together at dinner too.
So unprofessional.
Where do you see Felicia? The kingfisher that Hector knows.
I mean, Fritz needs a date.
What with the...
No, I think B has split it up probably culturally, so trying to like not cause problems, like having the mole people kind of sit together, having the denizens kind of sit together, but like having some like-minded denizens and like-minded mole people near each other so that there's still a little bit of a mix, but all right, she put a lot of thought into it, so Felicia's probably not at our table.
Yes, probably not. So you all the guests are entering, so you know Felicia gives you a wave, Hector, and probably walks over for a minute to chat before finding a seat. Obviously when Radia enters, she'll come and hang out next to you, Hector, after saying like, "No, there was a lot of paperwork that we had to fill out for the gifts and stuff." Is that like...
I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does Fritz have the sword on them?
Fritz, are you still holding onto the sword? For one.
Yes.
And are you openly displaying the symbol, or do you have it wrapped up? Because if it's openly displayed, everyone hates you a little more.
I think we would have made sure it was wrapped up before.
Yeah, it's like if you either leave it at the inn or you wrap it up and hide it so that people aren't sus of you.
Well, wasn't the plan to like leave the sword to incriminate the
Oh, that's right.
that faction?
Yeah. So yeah, just have it hidden on Fritz.
Yeah, this plan will definitely happen.
Oh, it's fine. Look, if you have 47 different plans, one of them is going to work. You just try them all at the same time.
Incriminate Bruce or incriminate the Marquisate or
Bruce works
somebody
for the
else.
Marquisate.
Oh, right, because bats and cats, they rhyme, so they work really well together.
I mean, that's as good a reason as any.
Yep.
Yup.
So I'll also mention that throughout the week you saw wanted signs go up for like a fox wearing a mask, wanted for explosions.
Yeah.
In town, you know.
We should keep an eye out for them. They seem
suspiciously-
dangerous.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good thing none of us are a fox.
That's true.
Yeah, definitely not.
I
I
used
had
to.
No
to dodge a
fox
few
snacks.
questions. Last time the fox was seen, it was with me, so I had to dodge a few questions.
Mm,
Yes. So yes, about the sword. You do see Flan comes in and gives you a big old hug, V. Before you, I presume, need to run off and do,
Wedding planner things.
wedding planning
Also
things.
setting up to cause a heist.
Yes.
Same breath.
George Carrot, the baker, enters and looks relatively pleased. He I think I have a description of him somewhere. He looks pretty pleased, but his like default expression is grumpy and is usually scowling under his thick eyebrows. He's a white rabbit. As soon as he spots you, Marsh, the scowl like intensifies by like 100 times the scowl level.
yeah, I have no idea who he is.
Yeah.
Oh look,
He knows who you are.
are.
Let's see. And then finally, there's probably other people, but the Commander Worm enters and looks around the room and drops off his gift in the designated spot as per the designated forms, and approaches his seat, I presume, pretty close to the front since he is standing in for one of the parents.
He does get a slice of cake.
The cake's not yet. We got the ceremony first, I think.
Yes.
Where was I going with this? Tack, where are you during all this?
I'm just part of the staff. I'm just kind of being unassuming until stuff starts going down.
Okay. Cool.
Tack
All
can
right.
be guarding the cake / lifting up the back of the tent to let Bruce in and sprinkle the stuff on. To make sure he doesn't sprinkle any more than he should or on anything he shouldn't.
Yeah, sure. And I definitely won't be sprinkling anything on Commander Worm's place that's not sleeping stuff.
For sure. So anything that anyone needs to do plan-wise before the ceremony?
So, to
Oh.
review, fabulous performance with a screen of red and gold smoke behind me. Ooh, it's like Vegas. And under the cover of the smoke, the switcheroo happens. Everyone's none the wiser. Then it's time for the ceremony and the cake, and then the sleepy time and the abduction attempt, and then the fire that then goes a little boom and lights the fake book on fire and burns it to cinders. And then,
Okay, so
yeah,
there's a performance first
yes.
in order to grab the book.
Yes.
Performance assisted by yours truly and the smoke screen.
So it's not
Alright.
part of the reception. It's part of just before.
Oh, I don't know about the order. It's,
Well,
it's
the
whatever V has
speeches-
described. Oh, the speeches. Ugh.
Which, of course, Marsh will give one of them.
I can MC it.
Exactly.
So maybe after the speeches, there's like a performance and like the dance. for
Okay.
Usually all that happens at the reception. After.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, I think we're in the reception when this is
Yeah,
okay.
happening.
Okay, so nothing really happens during the ceremony then, other than knowing what gift
Yeah.
it is.
Yes.
Because it's put
and
on top
catching
of the
a
thing.
glimpse at the cover and the first page so that we can relay that to Tack so Tack can finish putting the fake book together so we have that.
Okay. Yeah, Tech can probably see that. I don't think that's going to be too much of a concern. So basically like half the town is here. That might be a little over exaggeration for the size of the barn. It's a very big barn though. There's a lot of people. I think Marsh had drawn a lot of other people to observe from outside where they don't get food.
I did have a question.
Yes.
Anchor brought mud as his wedding gift. Was that impressive?
Oh, the mud with the silver flower growing out of it?
Yes. I mean, I presume
They haven't done the gifts yet because
haven't done
otherwise
the
we wouldn't be
gifts.
able to burn the book.
We might have incorporated that into the ceremony or something.
But we lined up all the gifts where
Yeah.
the book is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
So-
it's there on display, and I'm sure people have seen it as they've been depositing their own gifts.
Oh yes. It's definitely one of the more impressive gifts that is present.
And we did
For sure.
promise that we would talk it up. And so, of course, it's like, oh, look how insightful and also bureaucratic somehow the gift of the river people is. Oh, can't you see the symbolism?
He's like, nice.
He's more than happy to explain all of the symbolism to anybody that stops to look at it.
Symbolism.
Yes.
So everyone has gathered. The ceremony begins, and I assume unless someone does something otherwise, it is a beautiful ceremony, well planned. You all did a great job. Good job, wedding planning team. It does all the bells and whistles of like dumping mud from one thing to another, and like, I don't know, digging a loving home in the ground before you or something like that, and all sorts of, you know how sometimes people are like, I would like to do all of the symbolism. That's Nelly. So
Also-
it's a good like hour long ceremony, but it's very nice. I presume they have someone presiding over it. Probably Commander Worm, to be honest. He seems to be a high-ranking official. This seems reasonable, and he's all like, and you may now kiss the bride, and then they kiss, and everyone cheers, and it's great. They walk down the aisle, and people toss sand before them. That seems appropriate. Obviously provided by V in symbolic jars that are also a party favor. And then you all reset the room really quick, actually, because I believe everyone would be in here for the reception.
Yes.
That seems reasonable. Which probably means while they're meeting and greeting people outside, it's a good time to mess with any. Well, I guess you can either try messing with the gift stuff now to look at it to finish the cover, or you can deal it now.
Mm,
Plan is to do it when Marsh did his performance.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we wait for the chaos of that before.
yeah. I mean, there could be any finishing touches, but we would have seen the gifts, if at all possible, the day before, and
Right.
also part of the paperwork is a down to the millimeter description of the appearance of every gift. So we had plenty of time to do that.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Tack, do you just want to give me a counterfeit roll just to double check on how good it was?
And many of us can assist you.
Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say because I don't think I have counterfeit.
You don't have
Well,
counterfeit?
forgery or whatever it is, right?
Yeah,
There's
no,
one
Yeah,
that-
no,
you guys all have forgery.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's counterfeiting. Those V should be the one to do the counterfeiting.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
I was
Right,
just
right,
saying.
you could
Yeah,
do
well,
it.
we could say you did it, and then I.
Saw it.
Yes,
just
go ahead.
with
V, then you go ahead and
Yes.
Okay.
roll that.
Yeah.
And then I think Hector and I can assist.
I shall guess.
I would like to use a major boon.
Do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Much better. So that's plus this. So yeah, that's an 11.
+2
Perfect.
from me and Hector. So 13.
So 13. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Technically, that marks an exhaustion, but I think if you did it the day before, you're fine today. All right. So the celebration begins at this point, with Marsh leading the performance.
Yes. I will sing songs of the earth and the soil and the bounty that springs from them, and how love can find every dark nook and cranny. And it gets a little jazzy there in the middle. There's a little bit of scat, and then slow it down. The lights come down, and go into kind of like a, like not an aria, but like it gets very kind of operatic for a moment. Like you really feel it. Tears well up in people's eyes as I, make the whole wedding all about me, basically.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll All Eyes on Me.
Yes.
Your playbook move.
Yes. That is. Hold on 1 second. I need to check a thing real quick.
Everyone, we made so many plans. The heist can't go wrong.
Rhodia is on the edge of her seat watching this performance.
I'm going to selfishly spend a major boon.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was a 2 and a 1.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
Which is still a 7, by the way.
Fair.
But can't really get much worse. And I'm really counting on being able to give Tack a +3.
Well, it's not just Tack who's going to be doing something.
That's 12.
12. Perfect. So there is an ongoing +1 to sneak, which is the important one here. You can also hold 1 to spend a grant +3 to somebody. However, I need Fritz to roll wreck something as you set off the smoke for the show. Technically, this is not wrecking everything, but I feel like lighting some sort of pyrotechnics is kind of wrecking something. And that you can use your arsonist situation.
Okay. Fritz has their danger mask on. So
Yep.
it's also a +1 to all the scoundrel playbook moves, which arsonist is. So it's a 7 total. Which
is good because we don't want it to be massive and awful.
Yeah. It's good. It's right in the middle. I'd say that the smoke is billowing a lot more than perhaps anticipated. Maybe kind of filling a lot of the room with beautiful color smoke.
And as I wandered in the darkness, the colors of love overtook me.
Yeah, they really did.
You're there with me. You feel it.
But this is kind of attracting attention, which is probably what you wanted anyway. So, Tack, you can go ahead and roll the sneak to get the book.
I will spend the hold to give you a +3. You're on mute.
You're muted.
You can say that's good because I got a 5, which is a 7 with my finesse, so that's a 10 with the +3.
Perfect. So you sneak over, and is this taking the book or switching it? I don't remember where we're at.
Yeah, switching. Taking the real one and putting the fake one in its place.
Okay. Because the fake one
was on
more or less empty inside or whatever.
It's got writing in it, writing in gunpowder ink.
Right.
But it's going to get burnt up.
Because it's going to get burnt up, but we want it to look like it was the real one when they look at it.
Right.
As the smoke clears.
So you have snuck over and you've grabbed the actual... Okay. What's next on the docket? The performance ends. The room is kind of full of smoke. Everyone's opened some doors to air it out. It was cool, though. Especially the way no one was hurt.
Yeah. They'll be talking about it for years.
If
You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh,
if
no,
the
no,
doors
don't
are being
stand.
opened, perhaps we should wave Bruce in, sneak him in now, if he's coming in.
He's doing
Yeah,
his own
Oh, yeah,
thing.
we had him in as a roadie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the doors being open will make it easier for him to make his escape.
Yeah.
And it's probably time for cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be time for cake. Cool. So you gather people around for the cutting of the cake.
Make a big deal out of it, the symbolism and how culturally significant it is, and all that good stuff.
All right. So, Tack, did you put Sleepy Potion in the one that's the fake one that you were going to sub in for
Yes.
the? Okay, so both of the special rounds have Sleepy Time stuff in them.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. So I don't know if it's important or not. If you
I mean,
had
I
to,
thought the plan was to let them fall asleep anyway. I thought we changed it to where we were letting them
Yeah.
fall asleep so that
Yeah.
we
I
could
have no idea where we're
point
at.
out, like, hey, so I
Yeah,
know the
no,
plan's
it's-
changed like 50 times, but I think the last iteration of the plan was we're not going to bother switching it because if they catch
Yes.
Bruce carrying him out, it's all the guards will have that attention rather
Yes.
than Proxima being able to beat him up himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Bruce has poisoned or sleepy timed the top tier of the wedding cake. I think the difference is that Tack wants to make sure that Warren gets some of that.
Yeah. Well, not that, but
Oh,
something.
another special piece.
A special piece, you say? Okay. So cake time. So the top thing you serve it to Proxima and Nelly,
Yeah.
and then they're like going to cut another one for that, and you're like, no, that's your special one. You should put it in the ice box and for at least a month later and celebrate your 1 month anniversary or something.
Yeah.
As you do.
Yeah.
And we have this lovely sheet cake for everyone else.
All right. So you start handing out the cake. Tack, are you doing what is your plan here with Commander Warren?
I'm making sure that he gets the piece that I poison.
Okay. Are you the one who is taking it to him?
I might have V do it. Just because up close, I don't know if he'll get suspicious of a frog.
That's a good point.
And B's probably busy handing out wedding cake slices anyways, because she's trying to get back to Flan to go eat cake with her.
Oh, yeah.
So probably doesn't
Be
even
very
notice. It's just like, yeah, okay.
Specifically, give this to him, nobody
Yeah,
else. Do you
okay.
understand?
Pacific slice is fine, whatever. Makes a big deal out of carrying the single slice over to Commander Warren because I don't know, we made up some crap about it being culture
Yeah,
based.
get a corner piece.
Yeah,
No
okay.
frosting.
Yeah.
I need
nice snack.
one of you two to roll trick an NPC.
Oh boy. I can do it. I've got cunning.
Yeah, I have one cunning. Not great, but
All right, that's a 7.
I use a minor bane.
Yep.
but I can't help.
Nope, I'm just gonna fiat this
Yeah,
one.
We're just gonna.
All right. But you take the piece of cake over, and he looks at it and nods and thanks, and then kind of glances over in Tack's direction, and then looks back at you, V, as you continue to do the situation. Tack, you can see that he is not. You continue to observe him. He is not eating that piece of cake. Let's see. But let's see what's going on. Let's see. Everyone's having cake. It's pretty cool. Great party. You can probably hear Commander Worm say, like, oh no, I'm on a diet, or something like that, which is a standard kind of thing to say. Let's see.
Does this have gluten in it?
Yeah.
He must die.
That's Felicia or something.
Yep. Just
You hear her be all like, oh man, those explosions, that smoke was so scary. It reminds me of the time. And someone's like, no, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's completely under control.
PTSD flashbacks from the potato farm.
The most triggering wedding ever.
Explosions and a whole bunch
When
of
is the
stuff.
fire happening? Is it soon?
Whenever the
Yeah, but
Proxima and Nelly start passing out.
yeah.
If they start passing out.
It'll probably be, I don't know, like 20 minutes or so, enough time for like most people to, or at least half the people to finish having cake and then start being like, oh,
Dancing. Dancing.
Yeah, let's start the dance and stuff like that. So people are getting up from their seat. I think, Nelly and Proxima have their first dance, and it's probably near the end of that when you notice one of them, probably Nelly start to like get a little like, oh, I feel a little dizzy. Probably because I'm so in love with you, or something like that.
Oh no, I feel bad.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Do I have
Is he
eyes on
dancing
where
with
he
Fran?
like threw away the cake?
Yeah, probably. I assume some of the people here who have been cleaning things up, I presume he doesn't need to throw it away. Someone will come and clear the plates kind of situation.
I just want to use it later. So
I
don't worry
have a
about it.
poison cake. This is a secret tool that will help me later.
Oh, V. It looks like our super exciting wedding, the best one of the century, shared with your friends, Martian V Wedding Planners LLP. They're a little overcome with emotion. Maybe they should rest for a moment.
Oh yes, of course. We have the
Oh, and
nice
it's time for a
little-
costume change too.
Oh, that's right. Before gift ceremonies.
Right.
Yes. We have a nice little changing area set up in the back. You guys just
Oh,
wanna go-
perfect.
Touch up too, because they're dancing and sweating, and you want to look nice for them.
Yeah, of course. Just go
With the portraits.
just go a slut
Yeah, that's what I
dance.
say. Not pictures, but
The fast portrait. We got the guy who does it really fast.
The
Yeah,
memorial
they're really
puppets, so everyone can take a puppet home with them and reenact the event at home. No, so they can invite their friends over and say, do you want to see a puppet show of our wedding? It's like, yeah, of course we do. We were there also. Anyway.
Yeah, so I'll escort them to the changing area.
Okay. They'll follow. They go in. And I presume they start, like, oh, we'll just sit down for a minute. We'll lay out the outfits and we'll just sit down here, have a little talk. We'll be out soon. Do you stay in the room, V, or do you exit?
I think I stay and just pretend to also pass out. If they pass
Ooh.
out.
Cool,
So-
interesting. All right, we'll go with it. The rest of you who are outside see after a minute or two, Commander Warham stands up and starts heading back for the changing room. What do you do?
Not in response
wait,
to what...
why is the fire not happening
No,
yet?
it's about to.
I don't-
Not in
Okay.
response to what V just did, but literally this
Yes.
was my plan
Yes.
as well. Because when great minds think alike, I start, I don't know, I feel kind of funny. I thought it was just the love and the spectacular entertainment, but I don't know what's wrong. And then I do a really dramatic stage fall. Fall. thumping the hand against the stage to make it sound like I conked my noggin. And then while everyone rushes over in concern, I kind of open an eye and give Fritz the wink. And then...
Okay. Give me a trick and NPC for Marsh. Fritz, time to wreck something again.
Yeah. The difference is I actually ate Sleepy Time Cake. Because I thought that was the plan. I thought our plan was that we all eat this Sleepy Time Cake so that we have plausible deniability.
I think B also took a little bit of Sleepy Time Cake.
This is trick.
Planning a wedding and then we are out. Literally.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. Look, I gotta get my clean paws.
All right. I will spend. Do we have a minor boon?
Yes, we should.
I think you have quite a few minor boons.
Yes, I will spend a minor boon. To get it to a 9. So, 10. Sorry, typing and talking is hard.
It's
Cool.
use.
A use. Okay, that's what it was.
With Arsonist and Danger Mask, it's a 12.
Cool.
Yes.
So how does the fire start, Fritz?
They just wanted a straight up fire, right? Not like an explosion.
I mean, what does Fritz want? Really?
Oh, what does Fritz do?
What does Fritz do?
So Fritz likes a big firework display type thing where like there's different colors of fire popper cracker things that go off, and like if there was music, it would go in beat with the music. Probably it would then, the things would seemingly accidentally, but they're purposely going towards the gifts and then landing in certain spots because the trajectory of where the things were placed, other parts, like from where they started, the angle, there's all this physics stuff and math stuff, and Meg would be impressed. And so it's all strategically planned out, all pretty colors, and yeah, the points would hit where the book is supposed to be, and then it would all go ablaze, but like pretty colors. So it wouldn't be straight orange fire. It'd be like blue and green and purple, because like there's different stuff in the things, the fireworks, to make the fire turn different colors, because depending on what you burn changes the color of the fire.
Yes, so the celebratory fireworks go off and land on the gifts, and they start ablaze. I believe panic sets into the guests relatively quickly, as that was rather surprising. The posted guards, there's a contingent of like duchy soldiers here start. Fortunately the exits are open, so people start rushing out, guards ushering them towards the exits.
I'm gonna hand the book off to Hector and go towards Commander Warham and tell Hector, like, get out with it.
Yep, I do so. I rush Rhodia and Flannery as well, and anybody else who has a table out towards the exits with the book.
Rhodia's like, oh, wait, and she dashes over and grabs the what I presume remains of the gift from the Riverfolk people off of the blazing table.
It's metal and mud. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's just
probably fine.
The book is the only thing treated with gunpowder to make it burn.
To suddenly explosively catch on fire. I mean, there's some stuff, a bit on fire around there. Barn's probably a bit on fire too.
weakly, "Save me. Oh, I don't know what's wrong." Like maybe to a guard or something.
Yeah. Someone's near the stage. They'll probably grab you and drag you out. Commander Worm sees the situation and I think sees you to tack, but continues to go inside the room, the changing room area. So, what do you do?
Oh, I'm following him in.
Cool. So, here we find Nellie is definitely asleep. Proxima looks like she's fighting off the sleep, but not like in a way where she's going to succeed. Like, trying not to and is. No sign of Bruce yet. V is knocked out? Fake knocked out? Where are you at, V?
Really not. I think she also ate the real cake. Like, was like, oh,
Cool.
it's the wedding planner. I'll take one from the top, and so also passed out.
All right.
Probably very adorably curled up though.
Yeah. And I'm going to use Major Bane just to make this extra dramatic in the way that Commander Warham already has his sword drawn at neck level as you enter the room, Tack. Probably in a way that you might have run into it if not for your ninja-like reflexes. To which he says, "You think I wouldn't recognize the person who injured my eye with those ridiculous spots?"
I mean, your vision's half as good, so I don't think it was far off to think that.
All right, he's going to move in for a kill shot. What do you do?
dodge for my life.
All right, go ahead and roll in acrobatics. V, I like that you ran into a room knowing you took knockout potion, and it's the most enclosed space in a now burning building.
There we
Yeah,
go.
you think that the barn was gonna be burning.
Yeah,
down,
he didn't really.
We should have gave Fritz a little more specifics, but it's fine. I'm taking a nice nap. I'm a very tired wedding planner.
Two
I'd
people
use
in the party tap out to be unconscious for the big boss battle. I like it.
I had to use a major boon, but I got a 12 because I got a 10 plus 2 finesse.
All right, so I think you can just dodge out of the way. Yeah. So describe what actions you want to take. You're not going to take any damage from this blow.
I'm going on to the jump up to the ceiling where he can't reach me.
Okay. He pulls out a large crossbow and fires it at you.
Okay, guess I'm doing more acrobatics then. Oh, again. Okay. 2 5s again. So 12.
All right. You dodge again. What do you do?
I think your aim was better when you had 2 eyes. And
Get a ninja star him?
Yeah,
can I?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if using the dodge was my turn or something.
I mean, technically he's supposed to do something, but I think at this point he'd just be reloading and growling at you.
Okay.
He's going to shoot you again.
Okay, I'll do a trick shot again. And we'll see. Maybe I'll take out his other eye. Moles don't need their eyes anyway. They don't really,
Yeah. Recognize your stench anywhere.
Okay, not as good. So I think that's an 8.
Okay. You get to choose 2 of the results of the trick shot.
I will do. It'll land on him. So inflict an injury.
Okay.
And then Bruce is still nowhere to be seen, right?
You do not see him yet.
I mean, I'm a little occupied anyway.
Yeah.
But I would like to break his crossbow.
Mm.
Yes. Okay. So the shot is precise. He moves to the side a bit. It does glance off of his armor, so he'll be marking a wear for the injury inflicted. But as it does so, it bounces off in such a way that it cuts the main part of the string on the crossbow to help, set it back. I can't wait for him to throw his giant sword at you. But at this current moment, I think he will be, guards to me.
Uh-oh.
That kind of situation. At this point, I think Bruce is going to make his move because he doesn't want a bunch of guards getting in the way of this. So he's going to so NPCs are going to do NPC things right now, which is mostly Bruce is going to run out. He was hiding behind some clothes or something, and he's going to run out and over and hoist Proxima and move towards the door. Commander Warham is going to Major Bane again. This is on his blind side, so he does not notice Bruce moving there. Maybe he assumes a guard has come to remove them. I think he had seen that they were having problems here. So let me just type in my Banes that I'm just chugging through.
We built him up for 3 sessions.
I did. I didn't really use any. Now seemed like a good time. So he is running out with Proxima, who is still slightly conscious, is making weak struggle motions, but not anything that's effective for escaping. Tack, what do you do?
I'm going to confuse senses once the guards come in. Try to add some more smoke.
Okay, so in the meantime, then I think Commander Warham is looking around for something to throw. There seems to be a small clothing rack situation here, so he's just gonna hoist that sucker and just chuck it right at you. What do you do?
Try to move out of the way.
Yeah, go ahead. Clothes everywhere.
Okay, well that one wasn't as successful. So 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's 6. So maybe I'm like, ow, what the heck?
Ow, clothes. No. I feel like that you can dodge such things, but it takes more effort than you thought it would. So mark 2 exhaustion, just because there was a lot of clothes and fire and things. Well, so this all is going on in here. This is fine. Everyone outside who's awake, which I guess is just Fritz and Hector, you do hear Commander Warham say guards to me and see some of them move towards the dressing room. I know, Hector, you're probably slightly outside of the barn. Fritz, I don't know if you had left or not. What do you guys do?
Oh, I'm going
Did
back
somebody
to play boots.
Did somebody pick up March?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a guard did.
Okay,
like,
good.
They aren't. I think the most endangered people are probably Nelly and V, because they are in a probably one entrance exit stood up room in the back of the barn.
Well, hopefully some of the guards that are coming.
Yes, they probably
Make
will
them.
help them. We'll see what they do with Bruce. But anyway, Hector and Fritz, what are you guys doing?
I have the book, and I'm heading back to Caliboo's in order to begin copying it, because that was the original plan.
Yeah. We want to copy
Fritz,
too.
it's all on you.
All right, Fritz, what do you do?
Oh no.
Person I trust the least.
So many decisions.
All right, so me, Tack, and Nelly are gonna get blown up.
As long as Warren gets
is-
blown up too, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. But wait, I don't want to die.
Fritz is standing there admiring their fire. Like, you know how cats, when they look at something that they really like, or like, you know, when they have catnip, their eyes just go real wide and they're just like staring at a single spot. So that's Fritz. But like, I guess when the guards start like wandering over to where Warren and Tack are, probably in the changing area where the people were supposed to be part of the plan or whatever, Fritz is gonna be curious because curiosity killed the cat.
Or the cat's friends.
And
Yeah.
and the otter and the frog.
Yeah.
and they're gonna unwrap the sword and pull it out and prepare to stab someone.
Cool. I'm going to use a major bane. Some of the sparks fall onto your mask, and in an instant, the scarves burn away like they're covered in hairspray or something like that. You know how it is. Just the scarves. It's fine. You're fine. You're used to fire.
Gunpowder from all the ink.
But suddenly, the wanted fox is now present inside a burning building. And you hear a cry of anger from Felicia.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
It's that fox! They're the ones who burned down, blew up my potato farm! Get them! And she pulls out a crossbow and shoots at you, Fritz. What do you do?
Put a crossbow to a weapon.
There's so many
I mean,
weapons in
it's
this wedding.
dangerous to travel unarmed, you know? Actually, let me double check. I don't know if I actually gave her a crossbow.
Little pocket crossbow. Took it from a passed out person or guard or something.
Pocket crossbow. Yeah. Or grab it from a guard, whatever. Yeah, she pulls out a crossbow and shoots at you. What do you do, Fritz?
Fritz is gonna jump out of the way to dodge the arrow.
All right. Go ahead and roll acrobatics. If you don't have acrobatics, it's just you can just press your luck. I feel like
I have acrobatics.
cool. Go ahead and roll that.
Awesome. It's a 10.
Perfect. You matrix dodge out of the way. One of those like pulled to the side, and then you see the crossbow bolt go past. She angrily reloads the crossbow, and a couple of the guards peel off from entering the room and turn towards you. One of them's like, yeah, wait a minute, that's the one we were chasing last week. Yeah, Get 'em! And they charge at you with their swords. What do you do, Fritz?
Fritz is going to pull out a grenade. Just be like, I've been waiting to do this for a long time, but Miss Potato Farmer, would you be so nice as to take me? And then just yeets the thing.
Oh, no!
What do you have
It's tacky to propose at someone else's wedding.
What do you have against
we
poor
told
Felicity?
you not to do this, Fritz.
Wow.
Okay, go ahead and roll your... What is this? This is one of the ranged attack things that you can do. One of these. You're not engaging in melee, and you're definitely not grappling. No one's ever going to target someone. Perfect. Roll with finesse.
Okay.
And let me know what you got. If you already let us know, you were muted. I don't think I used my major bane from just now, so I will.
Closing all the tabs. It's wonderful.
Yes.
You're at +0 for finesse, so it's whatever's on that dice.
Yeah, but the better lucky than good when you use a weapon move
Oh, right. Roll
or
with luck
basic
instead.
or skilled.
Yeah, so it's actually
Mark
+2.
exhaustion to
Oh, yeah.
roll with luck.
Okay.
So I'm going to mark exhaustion to roll with luck. And that bumps what would have been an 8 up to a 10.
Ooh.
All right.
For fun, can it land right next to her, but like in a bowl of potato salad?
Probably, yes. So on a hit, you inflict injury, which we'll mark in the wear of her clothes. Not that they're very good against this, but on a 10 plus, you can strike again before they get to cover, inflict injury again. Or, well, you're not hidden, so you can just... You want to inflict injury again? I presume that could just be like second explosion.
Yeah.
All right. It explodes. Potato salad is everywhere. She looks horrified. Unfortunately, you were not guarding against the two guards that approach you, and they take some swings at you, inflicting 2 injury, and are engaging you in melee. So we'll leave you there and cut back to Tack. I believe the guards at this point are entering the room, surveying the situation with you on the ceiling. 2 people unconscious. I think they brush by Bruce on the way out. I presume one of them is engaged in him in something, whether it is a brief conversation or a fight. You are unclear. But that leaves like a guard or 2 entering the actual room. What do you do?
I was gonna use smoke to make it harder for everybody to see.
Okay. So go ahead and roll the confused senses.
Where'd my
You have
dice?
this smoke bombs for doing this.
Okay. 9. Do we have minor boons?
Yep.
Okay. I might. Well,
I mean, we might as well. This is like the end.
yeah. Okay. I'll use a minor boon to bump that to a 10.
All right. So on a hit, you've thrown them off balance, blinded them, or something. In this case, it's blinded because it's smoke. On a 10 plus, it has to take some time to get their bearings. So basically, they enter. You throw the smoke bombs. The dressing room kind of fills with this smoke. Commander Worm's all like, "On the ceiling, give me one of your crossbows." And they're like, "Sir, we can't, we can't see you, sir." You know, that kind of thing. And he's all like, I think at some point he probably also mentions, "And get Nellie and the wedding planner out of here," or something like that, because they might have seen them right away, but maybe not. So I think nothing really happens for a minute, so you can take time to move as needed.
Okay. I want to shift my position. That way I'm not where I was.
Mhm.
And then I want to do trick shot, but with the piece of cake.
Okay.
Oh, man.
All right. Where's this going?
I want to throw it at Commander Warham and yell out, "It's rude not to eat a piece of the cake at a wedding."
Go ahead and roll that.
Give me your crossbow.
I think you're going to be... A cake doesn't have the trick shot descriptor.
Okay, yeah, well, that's fair.
So I think you might have to roll for an improvised weapon.
Use piece slingshot.
Yeah, we'll roll with cunning to throw this improvised weapon, which is a piece of cake that has poison in it.
5, 4 plus cunning. 10, because I have 1 cunning. So, yeah, 5, 4, 10.
All right.
I was totally going to use that last boon on it if it didn't.
All right. So as you shout these words, the piece of cake. I guess this is technically making the improvised weapon, but I feel like this is fine. You throw it. It lands on his face. I don't know if you can tell.
He doesn't have to, swat.
Yeah.
He should straight up go to. He's like, "How dare you talk to me?" Oh,
Yeah, bro. Just a little bit, right in his face. He is trying to wipe that piece of cake away. Hey, what kind of poison did you put in it?
Oh, to kill him.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it probably burns a little bit.
I was going back and forth between that and like very explosive laxative, but
exactly. I think it takes him like he dramatically wipes the cake away and kind of throws it on the ground, and then is all like, "I'll," about to say something threatening, and then realizes something was up with that piece of cake. And I think at this point, probably decides to make a tactical retreat by grabbing Nellie, at least. Like, just grabs her and leaves the room quickly, because I think a smoky room with poison cake in your face is probably not the time to make, aggressive decisions. Maybe take a minute to retreat and figure out what's going on. There's still a couple guards in here. I think one is probably figured out how to get over to V to grab her. There's still another one probably looking for you. What do you do, Tack?
Sneak out, crawl on the ceiling, and go out the door up the top.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a sneak.
6, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Cool. You sneak so good right out of there. So meanwhile, Fritz, let's see. The guards are next to you. They're stabbing you.
Man, I'm gonna see Fritz, aren't I? And
You are probably in a minute, but I think Fritz got a few moves to do. Sorry, the rest of the gang who are sleeping and or making copies of books.
No, this is perfect.
Yeah,
I
clean
am
paws, baby.
super-
Clean paws.
I've got plausible deniability.
Yep.
Well, the majority of Felicia's protective, I don't know, jacket and so on have burned away from the grenade. They're in tatters. She still looks angry. What do you do, Fritz? There are 2 guards next to you, and she's still over there with a crossbow.
Fritz is going to use Monsieur Stabby and Vicious Strike the guards
Cool.
because they're close.
Yes, go ahead and roll to engage in melee. And I think you made Monsieur Stabby work with finesse. I don't remember. Yeah, I think one of those.
Vicious Strike is a special weapon move.
Yes. It is, and we all have the equipment sheet that tells us what that is somewhere.
It's to mark exhaustion and roll with might, but also the better lucky than good says when you use a weapon move basic or skilled, and Vicious Strike is a skilled thing. I think, yeah. It's would it be marking to exhaustion, or would it just be basically marking the 1 exhaustion?
I think you would have to mark 2 exhaustion to do both things, because they're 2 separate things that you are doing. You are vicious striking for 1 exhaustion, and then if you're activating the better lucky than good, that's the 2nd exhaustion.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I think a vicious strike is a separate move, so that's not a basic. That's not a basic move.
It's a skilled.
It's skilled. But the
Oh, it's skilled. It does or skilled. I see. Haha. Reading. So yes, then everything we mentioned still stands. So you can go ahead and roll with luck on this attack.
So I mark 2 exhaustion.
Yes.
Okay. With marking 2 exhaustion to roll with luck is a 7.
We have major boons, and you should probably just use them.
Okay, I'll use a major.
Yep,
We have
got
one more major boon, but might as well just
Okay, I'll use the major.
Also, chat is kind and will give us another one, right?
Yeah, chat. Since you
No, give them to me.
You
You've
have
already
too
got
many.
so many.
I'm gonna use a major boon to reroll 1 die.
Cool. I'll do it.
Okay. What happens if you hit a 10?
It's better. So did you get a 10?
If I use better lucky than good and mark 2 exhaustion, it will be a 10.
All right. So go ahead and mark the 2 exhaustion. So what this happens is on a hit, your enemy suffers serious harm, which is 1 additional harm. So in this, in effect, will be +2, and they cannot block it with their armor. On a 10+, you get away with the strike, meaning that you dodge and weave out of the way of their incoming blows, and you viciously stab one of, well, the guards. There's a couple of them there. I think, looking at how the stats are working for these, you probably take one of them out. So how do you viciously stab them?
I would assume either the Corvid conspiracy or the mate the
Eagles?
what is
The
Ares?
cat people.
the cat
Marquise?
people?
Okay,
yeah, the
yes.
Marquise. I kept wanting to say matriarchy, but it's not right. The cat people, one of them would have probably, in like the lower lengths of training, would have taught like pressure points or something. So using that training, Fritz would go for the most fatal points.
Yeah, right around this neck zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you definitely just murder one of the guards. Keeping up with Sin's characters. The other one is unable to match the dodging that you do. I think Felicia faints upon seeing this. This is too much. This is too much for Felicia. She was ready to get you, but I would say there is probably a fair amount of blood going on right now. So we're down to 1 guard there. Tack, this is probably the scene that you see upon exiting. You also probably notice Bruce is leaving the area with Proxima, out a different door. So it seems whatever happened with the guard, he talked him down. Actually, no, you notice there is a guard on the ground with a frothing wound.
Oh, ew.
Yes. Small puncture mark. So, what do you do?
I'm going after Worm still.
All right. So Worm is carrying Nellie out of the smoky barn. So what
I
do
want
you do?
a trick shot and hit the back of his leg or something, make him fall.
Okay. Now I will say, now that I'm looking at trick shot, every time you roll trick shot, you got to mark where on your weapon. So I think at this point you were probably spent on.
I used it once this time, right?
Okay.
Yeah, only once I've only used the shurikens because the other one was the cake, and I didn't end up using trick shot.
Yes. So just keep that in mind as far as when throwing them. Because if you run out of wear, then they just kind of.
Oh, do I only have one wear on my shuriken?
It got a little loose with the gauntlets as far as how much stuff each of the things could have.
Okay. Then.
Yeah, you can still use it for normal throwing stuff.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, just a ranged shot.
Yeah, so that is
Target someone.
Yeah, target someone. So that's rolling with finesse.
12.
Cool. So you inflict injury. And you can inflict a second injury because you can strike again, or you can keep your position hidden. Your choice. I'd say there's Oh, I was gonna say there's probably enough smoke in general in the barn that it's easy to keep hidden if you wanted to.
I was just gonna hit him again. Because I think he's oh well never mind, because that other one his armor absorbed one of the injuries. Yep. So
yes. So are you going to hit him again or?
Yeah.
Okay, so you throw 2 successive shots. He seems to have been aware enough to move Nellie to one side to avoid her getting hit by any of them, and they
I
bounce.
wasn't aiming for her.
I know, but he's doing the movement anyway, and it does again bounce off his armor. Still. He is very well equipped. He's actually ignoring you at this point in the way that he is trying to leave the premises. Fritz, you still have that one guard next to you, engaging in combat. What do you do?
Yeah.
Getting pretty tired there, Fritz.
Right?
So earlier in the session when we were setting up, you said that Fritz probably the depletion probably was enough for 2 to 3 kind of explosion thingies.
Mm-hmm.
And we've done 2.
Yes. If you have another thing that was set up for some wedding-based explosion situation that seems plausible, you can go ahead and say what that is and if you would like to set it off.
Yeah. So I think Fritz would have worked on something in case things went south, sort of like
Seems likely.
like the perimeter type thing with the potato farm. They would have set up a perimeter of the barn with explosives, just in case
Yep.
things went wrong and, you know, they had to go out in a blaze of glory.
Taking Tack and B with you?
He got carried out by a guard.
Yeah, V, you're carried out by a guard.
Okay, they actually
That's
made
the only
it
reason
out?
I didn't stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But taking Tack with you?
They don't know where Tack is. They presume Tack is out.
Tax
Well, I mean,
resourceful.
you saw me in the room with guards. You saw the guards in the room that I went into. But
You probably knew Tack went into that room. Maybe you haven't kept track if Tack left the room. You might have heard the tink of the shuriken hitting the plate armor. But, you know, Fritz is in a zone.
Yeah.
The explosion zone.
Yeah.
It could be one of those, like, lock eyes, get out of here, man, kind of moments. And then slow-mo as you push a plunger, like a big cartoon plunger.
We don't know where it came from, it's just there.
It's just there.
Yeah. Would you say that
kill that poor potato farmer.
would you say that this solves a problem?
I mean,
It solves the problem of you getting stabbed.
it probably will solve the problem of you getting stabbed.
It's only one guard left, man.
It seems a little excessive, but it would probably solve that problem.
It solves the problem
Okay.
that Fritz wants to blow things up and hasn't yet.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, they're gonna trigger that explosion.
Okay. Roll to wreck something. In this case, the entire barn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm gonna use arsonist to roll with luck instead of might. That's a. Also, they still have their danger mask on.
Hmm.
Or else they would have been real exhausted. So that's a 12 because luck is 2 and danger mask gives +1 to any of the scoundrel moves. So because it's destructive or damaging methods, the nature arsonist clears the exhaustion track.
Yes. Fritz is
Invigorated.
reinvigorated by doing the explosion. So here's
Explodies.
what's happened. So Tack, you see it. You
Yeah.
see it in Fritz's eyes. You see the setup, a wire coming out from nowhere. Is there anything you do before you run for it?
I want to grab the potato farmer. I'm gonna
Okay.
abandon Warm.
Okay. So as Warm runs off through one door, you acrobatically leap down past where Fritz is like slow-mo pulling out, the fuse in the garden next to Fritz, being like, "What's going on?" And you swoop down, grab Felicia, roll out, and as you do, you can just see the giant explosion behind you. I presume Fritz is just sort of like blasted back one way, and the guard is the another, and then the walls of the barn just boop, bloop, bloop, all fall in on each other. Fritz, you can just mark another injury. Because I don't think you're going to escape this one very unscathed. And cool. So this is all going to have a lot of repercussions in everyone's reputation.
Hey, me and March are clean.
Yeah, on some of y'all's reputations.
Is technically true. So
It was the yellow frog.
Yeah, there's yellow frog and that fox. That
Judge all frogs equally just because they all look the same.
yeah.
okay,
Jeez.
Worm knows who you are. So we now go through a montage scene. There's probably a chase of whomever is left to chase anybody, as Fritz is seen holding the Marquise's sword, running from the chaos that's going on. Tack probably carefully finds a place to ditch Felicia that's scared of people find, and I don't know, hides out in the woods or whatever. That seems like a good place to wait right now. Marsh and V, eventually you come to people are asking questions, that kind of thing, an official.
I mean, V is genuinely shocked about the barn being completely burned to the ground, so...
I will volunteer.
My
I will
wedding!
volunteer.
planned
I know,
for
right?
days.
I volunteer to be interrogated by the magistrates.
To sing for the charity
and
relief.
I spend. I roll to trick an NPC, and I spend an exhaustion to get a 12+.
Perfect. So it's
Lie,
a mystery.
lie horribly.
Yeah. Of what happened. I mean, it's believable because you were unconscious.
The last thing I saw was that creepy Batman sneaking around. He looked at me funny, and then it was all him. It was all his plan.
And then someone's like, you might overhear a conversation like, "Gary, he was carrying away Proxima. Why didn't you stop it?" "Well, I thought he was there." "Oh wait, no, he's dead. I'm sorry, Gary's dead.
he got stabbed.
My bad. He got poisoned definitely to death."
Clearly, the Marquise had
Gary.
hired the Batman to kidnap Proxima, and they set off explosions to cover their escape.
Yes. So that's believable. They're cool with that. I think at some point they're all like, but you were traveling with. I think they will ask you about Tack. This was probably covered in the situation because they were like, you were traveling with this the one known as Tack. They're definitely were doing something. They attacked the commander.
Oh, I can't believe that's true. Tack is harmless and very small.
Yes.
Commander Warham knows my name.
I don't know if he knows your name. Well, here's the thing. You were about town. Someone probably, like, who checked in here at the inn. Like, they're going to interrogate the innkeeper and be like, who traveled with them? And I'm just shortcutting the part where they give your description and then get all the information. Search parties are being set up. I presume, Tack, you can make yourself scarce as this is going on.
If possible, if I would have seen Bruce at the end, I probably would have tried to follow him. But it's possible I didn't because there was an explosion. I had to set down Felicia and
read a tense situation. We'll just use that as a...
That's a 5, so unless I'm rolling with finesse, I don't...
Cunning.
Nope, that's a 6.
Yeah.
Minor boon, I can make it a
Yep,
7.
we got boons.
So.
Okay. We use the minor boon. You can ask one question. We can just pick one. Well, you pick one. I'll tell you what kind of information you get from it. Bruce.
Who is in control here? I'm trying to look to see where he goes because I want to know who he's.
Yeah. I think you're gonna pick out his trail. I don't know. I don't think you see him in the immediate aftermath, but you are able to track him in the woods because I feel like you're gonna need a day or two to like figure out how to meet up with everybody again. So in the meantime, you can do some tracking. He is heading east. Not due east, probably towards Flatholm. At least in that direction. More or less, not on the trail. Definitely going through the woods.
Those dang birds.
Could be. Could be.
Heading in the direction of the main nest with the daughter of the marshal.
I mean, I'm fine with them fighting each other.
I mean, they already are.
Yeah.
Well, as far as the underground actually knows, it's the Marquisette who did it.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. For now. Let's see. Fritz, you also probably have to hide out in the woods. You probably meet up with Tack at some point. Because I don't think you can show your face in town for at least a little while.
Well, can I strangle Fritz?
Just a rules question. Can I put Fritz in a bag and throw her in the river?
You can interfere with people's plans. So you could have made the explosion worse. Like, for you personally. You can plead with them to never do that again.
I was thinking more just like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Fritz's eyes are still this wide.
And you can still see
You
flames.
can still see the flames in them, yeah.
Big blown out pupils. Fritz mixed the explosions with catnip and is just having a great time.
I'm pissed because I lost Warren because of Fritz, in my mind.
I mean, you kind of did.
Now, Tack, I think you might at least subconsciously realize that Warham is a difficult individual to fight. I think at your current expertise level, it could take maybe at least 3 of you working together to even fight well against him. just as
Right.
as far as stuff goes. But
Look, in my head, there was a chance. I could have disabled him just enough for him to get stuck in the fire or something. And
he
that would have
was
taken him out.
poisoned a little bit.
Or,
I-
yeah.
He wasn't feeling at the top of his game, as it were.
Doing with the laxatives.
Yeah, next time.
Next time, laxatives when you catch him at a party. So meanwhile, Hector, were you making a copy of this book, or were you just going to give it to?
I am, yes.
Okay, you want to give me a?
I have counterfeit,
Yeah,
roguish feet.
yeah.
That would be an 11.
11. Nice. So you make a perfect copy, pretty much. At some point, after a few days, Marsh and V are no longer being held for whatever interrogation. I think it's strictly, it's very much implied that you should not be here anymore.
You're right. This place isn't safe. And yes, I will sign your autograph book.
Nellie has been extremely distraught from what you've seen, V. I think she stopped in to make sure you were okay, but is generally very distracted due to,
glad that she was okay.
ruined wedding, missing wife,
Oh, do we have a scene with your little wolf blacksmith coming to visit you on your hospital bed?
So distressing.
Oh my gosh, are you okay? I heard there was so much
he-
going on.
Totally playing up the damsel in distress.
Yes, exactly.
No idea, that burning building. Oh my goodness.
Yes, and then I'm sure she leans in close as the camera pans out of the room and a curtain closes or something like that.
Yes, good. Yep. He's
I
happy.
think Rudy is all like, well, at least I got that gift back to him. So are you guys staying around or to Hector?
Oh, we're moving on, I think.
Yeah. My folks run the ferry over to Oakenhold. If you want to take the ferry on over.
I would love to, but V has the money. So, we'll have to wait until.
Well, yeah, V, I guess you do
happy.
get paid. They still pay you to value.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yay. So much money. Great. And then we also need to deliver the book to the Corvid.
Yes, you do need to
You
deliver the book.
Money.
You deliver the book to
Jonas.
yes. And he'll take. Do you give him the copy or the actual one?
The copy. I'm keeping the real one.
Okay. So he takes it, scans through it, nods approvingly, and hands over. I think that one was also 2 value of stuff, and he is like, "Well, I didn't expect the entire barn to fall down.
Me neither.
Oh, we kind of did.
I mean, I expected a little bit of flames. We've specifically told Fritz not to do big bada booms, but
Yeah, but you say that all the time. Let's put it this
yeah,
way.
and
We didn't
I'm so passed
expect
out.
it, but we're not surprised.
Yeah,
surprised.
I mean, it was just like one of the major landmarks of the town known throughout the land, but I guess they'll find a new tourist attraction.
Yeah, it wasn't intentional.
You
Really,
might say its destruction was historic.
it was very historic.
Someone should chronicle it.
I mean, of course, I already did.
Okay.
You write down. Okay, that's fine. Well, V, it was a pleasure doing business with you. I'll keep in touch if you. Yeah, I'll let you know when the situation around here has changed.
Yeah, I think it's time for
Vis-a-vis
me.
you.
Yeah, I think it's time for me and Marsh to take a nice trip home and go visit home.
Sure.
It's
home.
Oakenhold.
Oakenhold.
You definitely live there.
That's as good as any.
Yeah.
And so a few days later, after transactions are complete, you think you all meet up for a little pre-dawn rendezvous to hop on the special charted ferry across the lake towards Oakenhold. And I think that is where we'll leave it.
After
Huzzah.
Tack pushes Fritz into the water.
Right.
Yeah,
Am I swimming?
exactly. All
Hang on,
right.
Fritz, I'll fit you
The
out.
second time, because we have history.
Yes, third time's the charm.
Well, that went extremely well.
Yeah.
See,
This is off to an explosive start.
See, I told you.
Yes.
You just have to make a plan and stick to it.
Yeah, and we just made 500 of them, so
And we
eventually
did manage to stick to pieces of
most of
all
it.
of them.
Yeah, we did great.
Random question. How much notoriety did...
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what happened with
Let's
that?
sort through everybody's faction standings because some people are in trouble and some people aren't. So Marsh, I think you're cool in the way that you're present. I think you gain a prestige with the Great Underground Duchy for your assistance with the wedding.
Mm.
I think you... Yeah, I think that should be sufficient for
What about
this.
Corvid? Shouldn't we all get boons from Corvid since we helped them and delivered the book?
Yeah, you can add it to Corvid for everybody as well.
Cool. I'll go
Is
ahead.
it the sixth one that it goes to a 1, or once it's filled up to 5?
Once it's
Once it's filled up.
5, you highlight the 1, and then your whole reputation with them goes to 1. I've just been copying one of the other ones because it's easier like that. And then yes, you clear out all of the prestige boxes for that.
Yeah.
So everyone did the Corvid stuff. So
I got you, Fritz.
Hector, I think you gain 1 with the denizens and 1 with the duchy. Actually, you didn't really help out much with the wedding, did you? You were just present.
I danced
Just
with
there.
Rodia. That was very important.
All right, so you gain 1 with the denizens. And that's where we leave it for you. V, you gain 1 with the duchy. Yeah, you're good. Fritz.
Negative to everyone.
You gain, so when you gain notoriety, your mask makes it go to 2, correct?
Yeah, it's doubled, I believe.
So I'll just tell you the straight value and then you double it. You get 1 notoriety with the denizens because you did destroy their barn.
And tried to murder one of them.
Yeah.
Yes,
Again.
that's true. And you get 2 notoriety with the duchy.
Yeah.
Due to the fire situation and the fact you also ruined a whole wedding and, that stuff. So in this case, it'll be 4 boxes that you'll mark, so you'll get into that red zone.
Yeah.
But it won't change your reputation yet because you'll need to get all the way up to 2, which I don't think will be hard for you.
Right.
Yeah, that should be fine. And then Tack, you can mark 1 notoriety with the duchy. You can do it in the gray section because you have to get up to 6 in order to get the thingy. All right. And I think we can just take a quick look at
Wish I knew which faction Bruce is in, because I didn't sell out Bruce.
You didn't sell out Bruce.
Oh yes,
That is
we
true.
we all helped Bruce.
Bruce is technically he's like a vagabond, so I think he'd just be like a denizen. So we can just count that in the other stuff.
I'll add him.
So do I get one or no?
Yeah, you can get one for denizens. Denizens love you guys. Except Fritz, don't mark one for that because you were wearing your danger mask.
Oh, that's true.
The exciting time for Fritz is everyone is unhappy with Fritz. And I'll note, every time you brandish that sword, your reputation immediately goes up by 1, or rather down by 1 while you're holding the sword, which is extra exciting. I think several people have leveled, or rather have gotten an advancement by completing drives.
Yes.
I think both Marsh and V did crime while maintaining the veneer of innocence.
Yes.
I think Hector did it for increasing reputation. I don't know if you've gotten any major serious payday from this. But you did.
Increasing reputation means you have to go to a +1.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry. So maybe you didn't do either. Let's see.
Fritz advanced.
Yeah, you decreased your reputation. Did that happen?
No.
No, they didn't.
I don't think that technically that didn't happen.
It didn't.
But I don't know. You did like topple a whole barn. I don't know if that's a tyrannical figure or not. Something happened here. We'll figure that one out later. I think Tack advanced when you caused significant harm to Commander Worm and Commander Worm's interests, which was this wedding. Fritz will have to deal with your injury later. I think everyone's exhaustion will go away.
Yes.
For the next time. But Fritz, we're going to have to figure out your injury next time, I think, next time we end up playing. So you can just leave it as is. And I'll leave it as an exercise to you to sort out the inventory to make sure it all makes sense. I'm not too sure if anyone spent the stuff in the notes section or not. But that's for another time and another adventure of this traveling band. So I'll just go around for the exit here. So I'm Misha, or Misha_less_than3 on Twitch, or at Misha Weha on Twitter. That's Misha with a WEHA at the end. I think the only thing I have coming up here is the last session of Teen Magic Academy, not this weekend, but the following Sunday. So I think that's it for me. Tough.
Alright, and I am 98 Tough Lover, Tough for Torfulton, or some other variety of nickname. I am a variety streamer on Twitch. I play lots of different games. Sometimes I run games. At some point, we'll continue with Masks Unfathomable. Tomorrow, I will be over on KD1W22's channel celebrating her birthday. And then Saturday, I will be over at the Backwinds channel doing Shards of Darkness, which is our ongoing D&D campaign. And then Sunday, I'm playing Masks with Sin, doing Pandora's Box. And then I don't think I have anything scheduled here, but there's a lot of stuff in the works. So should be seeing, I think, Alien and Tales from the Smoke soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, go Sin.
Hi, I'm Sin, or Sinful__potato on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. I post stuff to the YouTubes, I post art to the Instagrams, and I exist on Twitter. Probably will be existing a little bit more now that Art Fight is in session. If you don't know what Art Fight is, we draw people's characters as attacks, and then they can revenge with art of our characters. It's fun. It's a lot of art. So I'll probably be posting art there of that. Twitch wise, the next time you'll see me here will be for Teen Magic Academy. And then after that, I don't know when. But I'll also be in Backwinds Shards of Darkness on Saturday and My Masks campaign, because I'm running it, on Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Time. It's gonna be super wholesome, not chaos. Bye.
Hello, I'm Twi'lek. I have been Hector, and it's possible I will be Hector again someday. SJ.
I am SJ. I am running Teen Magic Academy, not this Sunday, but next, which everybody here except Tough is in. And yeah, I think that's all I'm in upcoming.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'm Zero Daylight. You can catch me here usually a couple times a week, and every Sunday or almost every Sunday over the Juices TV program and Lissa T channels for some of the same stuff. One shots, two shots of even sillier RPGs. Last one we did was Bronan the Brobarian, which was very, very somber, and not silly at all. We have other things coming. Actually, I think this coming Sunday we're playing Lady Blackbird, which is actually a really, really cool game. That one might be a little bit more serious. But yeah, so that, and then the conclusion of Teen Magic Academy, and as Tuff mentioned, not yet finalized on the schedule, still kind of working through it over the Discord. I think you're right. The next two that we'll look to get on the calendar in the very near future are an Alien, probably two-shot, run by our friend Grognard from Labyrinth and Sasha the Vampire Slayer fame. And then Tales from the Smoke, which is another Powered by the Apocalypse game that was actually created by the same person who did Brindlewood Bay that we used for our Monster She Wrote. It is a Victoriana with monsters, kind of. So like Sherlock Holmes, only the Hound of the Baskervilles is actually a werewolf kind of situation. So yeah, stay tuned. If you're curious about the things that like the type of games that we play and you want to provide feedback or learn more, or etc., you can head over to our Discord channel. You can also keep in touch with us on the Twitter, and definitely do, if you don't already and you're here, go ahead and click the little heart button so that you can be notified when we go live with fun stuff. And head on over to cpluscontent.tv, our YouTube channel, where everything that we do here live shows up in about 24 hours. There's so much stuff, guys. So like there's a whole big long fantasy playlist that this stuff shows up in. There's a spooky playlist with a lot of our stuff. There's sci-fi playlist. There's all the kind of one-shots and you name it. So there's a lot of entertainment to be had. Head on over there and give it a subscription because that is free. Cool. I think that's all for us. We should raid somebody who is up, who is live. We've got Zam, but I'm open to suggestions. Thanks for dropping in the raid calls. Based on who's in chat, I suspect people are going to go see Zam anyway, so we might as well do it.
Yeah, Zam's probably good.
Cool. Let me type that in. Thanks everyone for coming by. Thanks everyone for playing, and thanks especially to Misha for running.
Yes.
Did I type it right? I did. Cool. Looks like that's working. So wait till the raid fills up and we'll raid out, and we will see you back here soon. Bye, everybody.